We're live. What's going on, D-bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here at why does it keep getting longer? When am I going to cut this thing?
Dude, it's the same way for me.
It's
okay.
it's insane. But we're back here at the Detox Podcast, episode 83, if I'm counting correctly. My name is Darren Rita. Feel free to connect with me at any of the links down below. If you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, or comedy, do consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 700 before the end of February. And before I introduce you guys, my guest this week, though, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about car insurance. These days, it seems as if we're able to do more and more from home. So while you're at home, why aren't you saving money on your car insurance? Your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance, has specialized for years in simple, hassle-free insurance using the latest and touch-free technology to help you and your family get the best rates. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call today at 262-448-4141. That's 448-4141. The website is kenoshains.com. It's on the screen right here. One last time, that is 262-448-4141. Give them a call and tell them Detox, Darren Rita sent you. The worst that could happen is you will get the best rates. Now, with all of that out of the way, I'm really excited and pumped, actually, to introduce you guys to this week's guest. We wanted to have him on a while ago. A scheduling conflict kind of came up. And to say that he is a talented drummer would be disrespectful.
Okay.
That would be disrespectful to his skills, from what I've heard and what I've been told. So he and I also share blood, as a weird way of me saying we're cousins. We're related.
There was a weird incident at the store one time. It's like I hit an aisle and then he walked by and it kind of got in his mouth. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, it was a weird ritual. But so this is a really roundabout way of me saying we're related. So without further ado, I want to say and give a wet Detox welcome to my cousin Iann Orozco. Let's give it. We got no clap track, but we're just gonna hit it.
I'm good at this. I can clap.
We can clap.
One of my few talents.
How you been, man? You looking good?
I'm doing okay.
Doing okay.
Yeah, just kind of vibing. Dude,
Just vibing.
I was gonna comment on it before, but this right here, this awful hair,
Yeah.
5 months.
5 months.
5 months.
Holy
I
cow.
cannot grow facial hair.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
You'll get there. I can't. It's taking a long
That's what my
time.
family says. That was 3 years ago, and here we are now.
Jesus.
So-
5 months though, you say?
Yeah.
How long on the hair? Does the hair grow faster?
This was like a month. I'm
Oh.
like Harry Potter at that point.
Oh, okay.
No, it
Wow.
sucks.
So you had it pretty short and it just kind of grows.
Yeah.
See, my hair grew pretty fast and then it got to a point just plateaued, and now it's slowly
just
getting longer
plateaued.
every day, but it's not where I need it to be,
Yeah,
and it
I don't
just
think
curls
I
up.
think mine stopped growing, but it just gets curlier and curlier.
People
So,
are into the curls these days,
Yeah,
so
I'm
I'm
glad
just
that
gonna
we
keep
can
it
match.
going. Yeah, we're just gonna keep it going as long as we can, as long as it's possible.
Maybe I'll catch a viewer's eye and add him on Snap.
Exactly. He's a newly single man. We were gonna get into that a little bit later, but why not right now? I
mean,
just
whatever
brought it
you
up.
want. It's your show.
So, we were talking, a little bit off air, catching up. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, and for those that maybe are just jumping into the live stream now, this is my cousin Iann. We're related. We go way, way back. And he was mentioning to me that he is relatively newly single.
New as of Christmas Eve single. Yep.
Tight. That is tough. So we talked a couple weeks, and the only reason I hate doing this, first off, I've had so many people on like a couple weeks after they've gone through these things and breakups and whatnot, and they're messy. Breakups are never fun.
Dude, I'm great. You don't gotta worry about. You can ask whatever questions you want. I don't care about getting personal.
Okay.
Ask whatever you'd like.
Okay. Well, I'll try not to pry, but we might get into it. So
Go ahead.
I had a guy on, a good friend of mine, Joey, friend of the show. He's been on the show a bunch of times. Well, a couple of times. He's been on the channel, whatever. And we talked about dating coworkers, because he was dating a coworker, dated 2 coworkers, then ended up breaking up with one for somebody else, ended up calling in the next day and quit. Now, you've got a similar scenario that happened.
Yeah.
Where you were dating someone that you worked with for how long?
We were dating for a little over a year and a half.
Okay.
And she was the only one I dated, but I had my interactions, we'll say as such, with other
Okay.
coworkers. So
Interesting.
they know me at the store. I'm kind of a popular guy.
Okay.
But yeah, we dated for over a year and a half, and yeah.
And then Christmas time. So that was the other similarity that I found strikingly weird. So in Joe's case, he had bought this person gifts. They exchanged gifts, broke up what was it? The day after or a couple days after Christmas? I can't remember. And yeah, they broke up right after Christmas. In your case, it was right before.
Yeah, the day before, because obviously I'm not gonna go in I will never attack her.
Yeah.
To my friends, obviously she had her flaws. I have my plenty of share flaws. I'm not I'm humble. I can be honest. But she liked to do a thing where I need time to myself. I just need to think about things, and she would do that every 2 weeks, probably, give or take. And she did it right at Christmas time. And then she hasn't texted me in a couple days, right? So I'm like, what is she doing? And
Yeah.
why isn't she texting me? And then she randomly texted me out of the blue, hey, am I still coming over to do Christmas Eve with you and your grandparents?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's weird. That's the first thing you're going to text me and ask me about, is if you're going to be able to come over and get gifts.
Yeah.
You're not going to ask me how I've been or talk to me about what you were thinking about.
How long was that? A couple of weeks in between talking, or a few days?
Only like 5 days.
Okay, it's still weird.
But she did that consistently.
Yeah, it's
and I'm not gonna give that much detail into that personal stuff, but like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of reasons for me not to trust her at that point. Hence
Okay.
why I told you before I was kind of just checked out for like the last like 2-ish months.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
not good either. But both
no,
cases are
'cause
tough.
it just like, because beforehand, excuse me,
Well, it's just
we were like best friends beforehand.
yeah,
Like, I helped her get out of this super awful relationship with this guy that was terrible to her. Like, he was the worst person I think I've ever heard in my entire life to her.
oh, well,
And I kind of took it upon myself. I shouldn't have, but I did, as a way of like, I can help her be happy.
mhm.
I can do my job to whatever pain she might be feeling or what she might be conditioned to be a part of. I want to see if I can make her happy with how she likes to be.
Mm,
And
yeah.
because one of her biggest grievances was like, she doesn't feel comfortable with who she is now. And that got put onto me. And she's like, oh, well, it's got to be your fault then.
Yeah,
And then it obviously wasn't.
that's tough to put that much stake in somebody else to provide your happiness. You know, that's
And
not
my
easy.
biggest thing is I like to help people. That's my biggest flaw, is I will do what I can to help anybody.
Yeah,
And realistically, we should have broken up back in like the first 3 months of the relationship.
okay, because you were
But-
seeing similar patterns, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the forehead that I am, I fought for it.
Mhm.
And I felt like there was consistently times where she didn't want to be with me anymore because
Yeah.
she didn't like how happy she was with herself.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, that's the thing too with and not even just like, you know, us being younger. It's just anybody. I feel like if you're not happy with you, if you don't love
Yeah,
you, it's really
exactly.
tough to love somebody else.
Exactly. And it's
Um,
like, she more than obviously cared about me a lot.
Yeah.
And she felt bad. She's like, you know, you love me so much, but a lot of the time I can't even find it in myself to care about you.
Jesus. That's
Yeah.
heavy,
And she stood up, and I appreciated that because she's honest.
Yeah.
And it sucked, but me being me, I'm thinking in my head, okay, Ian, this is what you're going to be living with the rest of your life, so get used to it, pussy, and let's go.
Yeah.
And
That's not a good way
that's
to
not a
think
good way to
either.
think. Yeah, exactly. But I was dumb because I was naive. In my head, I'm thinking, it's the depression talking, you know, you finally got somebody again.
Well, you think you could fix, right? You try
yeah,
to do
fix
that,
it, and I
putting-
shouldn't have bothered.
Yeah, that's putting too much an unrealistic amount of pressure on anybody. But
Yeah.
I think what stuck out to me in that story was that you guys would go extended periods of time without talking. I don't understand, and this is something that I don't know. Was it? I don't want to know specifics. People don't want to know specifics, but I know with arguments, I know sometimes couples will get in an argument and then like, sometimes you need a second, but like I could never imagine just being like, I'm not gonna talk to you for several days on end.
Yeah.
And not like sometimes I freak out and I need like 10 minutes to just like
I'd at least hear from her, because like we had a Snapchat streak for a while and we were both like, let's see how high we can get this to go. So she's like, at nighttime, night babe,
yeah.
and that'd be my text for the day. I'm like, fuck yeah, she still might care.
She messaged me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
that's
yeah.
a win in some capacity, right? Oh, that's sucky, man. I'm sorry to hear that. First off.
And like I said, I'm not gonna ever attack her, because
Yeah.
I had my fair share of issues. I had a tendency of being really lazy. Like, I'm not a guy that likes to go out and do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to the fair every weekend. I don't want to go see a movie every night. I like it just when I'm not working or working out. I like to just relax at home, maybe watch a movie or two, and just relax.
Yeah.
I'm very chill. I don't like going out and doing things.
Gotcha.
I mean, I will, but I don't prioritize it.
Yeah, and sometimes some people want that, so I could
She was more of a go-getter. She loved getting shit done.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I kind of just work with it.
Sometimes that'll
It's like,
clash and whatnot.
yeah,
Which
but
makes sense.
that's a typical fucking thing.
Yeah,
But
those
like
are.
it was along with plenty of the other extremities, it was plenty of duress on my mentality.
Well, I'm sure, and you mentioned there are dudes in the world who invest more money into real dolls than actual women. Ain't that something? Yeah, it really is. That's my guy Whiskey Man. He's
Yeah.
in here a lot. That's scary.
It's almost like I put money into dirt.
You put money into dirt? Oh shit. Oh, what you're saying?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. That's
Sorry,
tough.
that was supposed to be funny. I'm not being serious for the most part.
Yeah, he was joking. He was joking. But that I wanted to talk too. You said it, it was a tough situation, whatnot. You haven't been able. You're a big Marvel fan, big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And Disney owns all of that. Disney, people love it or hate it. Disney owns it all. I talked extensively last week about WandaVision, and during my 11-hour fucking stream of Legos a couple weeks back, talked about that as well. How much I'm excited for that series, and it's great. It really is great. But you haven't gotten to watch it.
I haven't gotten to watch
Disney
that.
Plus,
The Mandalorian, any new Disney stuff, because it was her account we used for Disney Plus, because she got it specifically for us to watch, because she never watched Marvel movies. Before us dated, so we had like a good month straight where it was every single movie,
watched
even the garbage ones.
Okay, sweet. We did the same thing. It was awesome. I love doing it. I love all of them.
Yeah, dude, binging good things is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun, but watching movies with her was painful because it was harder for her to catch up on a lot of things when it came to small details that are important for the future kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if I never explained anything, I'd get in trouble.
Okay.
If I dare explain anything, I got yelled at.
I would just say I think it's totally fine to not pick up on all the super minute details. I know.
Like she didn't know that the Hulk.
Kind of sometimes.
She thought the Hulk was just the green guy, not the regular guy. It took her about 3 movies to catch on to that, and I was like, babe.
In her defense, Marvel recast him, which was bogus after one movie. I mean, I like Mark Ruffalo. I love him, but that is funny that they recast.
No, even
him.
after she figured it out that he was the same person in Ragnarok.
Oh, okay. That
At
least
you
know,
she
you
was
get to
like,
see
wait,
that change.
he becomes the green. I'm like, babe, you saw that transformation like 7 fucking times.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Some people are just there to be just kind of aloof and entertained. So
the most painful series we binged through was Saw, the Jigsaw movies.
Oh God, I'll never watch those.
I love fucking horror movies, dude.
See, that's like I'm okay with like some fucking horror that makes me like think, or like even some cool like mythology horror.
Yeah, see,
but
I don't like it
Saw
if it goes into like the religious crap, like the nuns and all that stuff, like Possession or whatever those movies are. Those are terrible.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna get biblical on me, I'm not gonna want to care.
Yeah.
I don't want, because it's like I don't want to hear about this nun cross like every other movie. It's how all those movies go. Is like someone's gonna have a cross, someone's gonna get exorcised, and that's how the movie's gonna end.
Yeah.
Almost 10 times out of 10. That's boring. I like the Saw movies because it's like not horror, but it's a mind fuckery kind of movie series, because if you don't pay attention to everything, because that movie series
so I've heard a lot, and one of my friends growing up had this very bad tendency of wanting me to watch a movie, and we would be like we would usually be just doing drills, like playing basketball or whatever, and he would want me to watch a movie, say we should watch this tonight, and I would say, okay, why should I watch this movie? And then he would proceed to explain to me the entire plot, the entire plot, every detail. So I've like seen these movies in my mind. I've never seen them though.
How I used to do with horror movies is like there's this thing on YouTube where it's like you watch through like the kill count. I don't know if you know what that is or not.
Kill count. Yeah, kill count's funny. I like the John Wick kill counts. Those
that's where I learned about a lot of horror movies. And I was like, oh, these actually like decent movies. So I would only go in knowing, oh, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I want to see if I can get attached to this guy though, because if it's a good movie, I'm gonna get attached to someone that's gonna die later.
Yeah. It's interesting. There was I can't remember if it was a study done. I think it was. There was like a study done on people when you know the ending of a book or a movie, like it doesn't people, you'd think that would deter you from watching or wanting to read the book, right?
You want to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, well the thing is it's not even that, it's that like you know it, and so you're intrigued, you're like, wait, how does that happen? How is that the ending? Because all you know is what's on the back of the book or the trailer, and you know the ending. So like, wait, I want to know how that all adds up. It's kind of like the reason I guess the prequels work at all in Star Wars, where it's like you have 4, 5, and 6, and you meet Anakin and as a little kid, and you're like, well, because I know he's got to turn into that. So how does that happen?
Yeah, because obviously the movies are not the best. Yeah, but they're fun.
Yeah, I love the prequel. I'm glad the prequels have made a comeback, and people love them now.
I will always defend number 2.
Yeah,
only because of Lego Star Wars. I loved the levels that they would always play on Geonosis. Yeah, that is the only reason I will ever defend Attack of the Clones, even though the movie itself is horrible. I hate
the gunship level is the worst level ever created.
But any game the rest of it that involves one mission, and this goes for Call of Duty too, like for the campaigns, there's always that one level where you're flying something or you're in a vehicle of some sort, and it's awful.
GTA Vice City had this. If anyone remembers GTA Vice City, there was a fucking drone level where you fly this little drone fucking helicopter into this building. You have to plant bombs, and there's people trying to just beat the fuck out of this helicopter instead of defusing the bombs, but it's like the dumbest fucking mission.
So it's GTA.
That happens all the time. And Whiskey Man says, yo, Darren, your cousin is pretty neat. He has your chin. I always
You can see his chin.
yeah,
That's
my
crazy.
chin's covered. I mean,
I got like a halfie.
if you scroll down far enough on my podcast, you can eventually see me much more
I
less
just,
hairy.
I just know you.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, I've gotten a good look at your face over the years.
a couple of times I'd imagine.
Couple of close calls.
McKenna says she always reads the back of the book first. A lot of people do that. You know what I really can't fucking stand, and we get into like little like arguments about this, is on Netflix. Some of the fucking movies on Netflix will literally explain to you the whole plot into what it's about.
I fucking hate that.
I just like to look at, like, especially if I want to watch a new movie, and like we're picking with people, like I'm picking with McKenna, or if I'm picking with a group of people, and like we're gonna watch a movie. Like I'm scrolling through, I want to find something that looks interesting. I don't want to know what happens. I want it to be a journey. I want it to be fun. Sometimes they literally explain the whole fucking plot, and then someone will want to read it. And then fucking we read the whole thing. I'm like, wow, I know what happens.
It's like when you go to look. That's what we used to do.
It's kind of contradictory to what I was just talking about a minute ago. But sometimes, like, if the movie didn't look that good, and now I know the ending, I don't care. If
it's a book is a book because that's your time reading. A movie is about, on Netflix, get hour and a half.
And a lot of Netflix movies aren't that good, so it's like it's a mediocre film. I don't want to know the whole film yet.
That's why when you read the synopsis of it, like part of the trailer. It's like, sure, let's go watch the trailer. If half the trailer is going to be the cool parts of the movies, it's like, well, that's dumb. I know that something cool is going to happen, and I have to sit here and wait for it if I'm not interested. Or, like a good example, Bird Box. Or like a lot of ways that Netflix movies have been doing recently, they'll show the ending of the movie at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they'll make a subtle cut, not so subtle if it's Bird Box, where it's like, okay, who are all these characters? And it's like, oh, well, and... like, for example, like I'm gonna keep going back to Bird Box because they did it horribly. Sandra Bullock and these two kids are in a boat in the river, right? And they keep cutting back to that throughout the movie. And obviously, throughout the other parts, you got all these other actors. You got like John Malkovich. You had MGK.
How do you think MGK? How do you think MGK did? He's got some acting chops now. He's been in a couple
I
movies.
don't really care.
Yeah,
it was a movie that I could care less about. I don't really watch a lot of those movies, but
I thought it was an alright movie. It wasn't a great film.
See, I was okay with it until I clicked in my head. I was like, oh, everybody here is already dead at that point. Like, I know what's going to happen in the movie, so okay, we'll see how it's going to happen. I was okay with how the one, I can't remember his name, the darker guy, because he was a cool character. Tom, I think his name was Tom. Super sweet dude. They made him like act like an idiot, out of character at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah. And
I hate when their reasoning of killing somebody is they have to adjust something in their character. Yeah. That's bad storytelling.
Yeah.
Like John Malkovich, he's one of my favorite actors because he's funny as shit. He's hilarious.
When things are rushed like that, it's tough. It's weird. Like because we were just talking about, like, sometimes when you get like a little bit of the film or the ending, you're like, it's exciting. When I think it's all about execution, though. I think it really is, because I think you
have to be subtle with these. If you're like, maybe even just a little, like, there's a movie that we watched. I can't remember what it was called, but like it had the chick that played Maggie from The Walking Dead. It had a couple really big name actors in it, and the intro was just like this cam over a city, and the main character, I cannot think of his name for some reason, but it was just narrating for a little bit. And usually I hate that, but like he gave little subtle details about the whole movie, and was talking. It was his broadcast from the end of the movie that you heard at the beginning. Yeah. But like they did it to where you had no idea until it was happening at the end of the movie. It was like, hey, that was the beginning. Yeah. And they did it fantastically.
There's another what horror movies like that? There's it's the one with them in insane asylum. It's like Section 9 or something. Not Section 9. It's something like that. I can't remember the name.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
Someone correct me. It's like the dude's going with the hazmat suits, and they're going to clean up that building, and like there was like it was an insane asylum, and it's a good movie. I don't remember. It scared me, but it was a good movie. I know what
you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
But so I know I introduced you obviously as a drummer, and so you said when you're done with work, you like to just kind of chill and relax. I'm assuming that doesn't include when you're banging on the drums.
Yes, for the last like 2 months, because that was towards like the end of a rough relationship, and I was not in a very good mental space with myself. I didn't ever have like the willpower to want to go out and go to the garage and go play set, but the last like week, 2 weeks now, I've been going out every single day because I forgot how much I loved it. Yeah. Same with going to the gym. I didn't go to the gym for a couple months because I just didn't have the willpower. Yeah. I got drained so emotionally, mentally. I just didn't really care.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of people, man. That happens all the time.
Oh my god, dude! After I got back into the gym, loved it. Got back on the set. I was playing for I think about 4 or 5 hours straight.
Jesus.
I killed myself.
So how? This is the thing.
It was painful.
So for people that don't know, because obviously I don't play drums. I do music, but I don't play drums. I've dabbled a little bit in guitar, but not practicing any of them actively.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're gonna go play set, as you say? Like, what is that process like? What are you doing? Are you playing a song that's on the radio, or what is that?
Usually my process when it comes to playing drums is I have a playlist on Spotify that it's just a couple songs that I definitely know I have memorized that are simple, like Hail to the King or Enemies, or like I love Shinedown. It's like a lot of Shinedown stuff because their drummer Barry Kirch is very good and he's talented, but a lot of their songs is more soft intricacies rather than like the super aggressive, fast, like awesome.
Yeah, like the drummer is insane kind of shit. Yeah, I got you.
So more often than I'll start off playing like the slower songs. And the ones that have more, it's just like a basic pattern to get my hands warmed up. Because I've gotten a lot better, like the really fast stuff. Like I don't play death.
Yeah.
That stuff bothers me. I don't like. Everyone thinks that I love to listen to scream music. When I don't, I just like the music. I'm very big.
You like the instrumentation of it. Yes.
It's got good drums. Like I'm a sucker. Like my favorite drum pattern is just 16th in the bass, 8th on the ride, and then the snare. Just
gotcha.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, and so
I don't know why it tickles my fancy.
And so you find that a lot in that
soft spot, yeah,
in that genre.
So if I hear a pattern that's interesting, I'll listen to it. If you're sitting there on the mic, and it's just grunts of pain and just like I can't sing, so kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't
for
like
you.
it, but like if it's got really good guitar, I'm gonna listen to it. If it's got good drums, I'm gonna listen to it.
Interesting.
If there's a dude going ape shit on the piano, you won me.
That's crazy that you're able to separate that, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to separate that. That's
see, my dad, he's the one that taught me how to like really listen, because like when I used to learn songs before I had my own like headset, I would have his radio turned on next to me at like max volume, so like all the neighbors would get pissed off of me because we didn't have insulation yet.
Yeah.
And like I would have no clue how to differentiate a lot of the crash cymbals, or if that was the China cymbal being hit, or if it was an open hi-hat close. I didn't know how to do any of that. Like, I was like, how the fuck can you tell?
How do you develop that sense?
A lot of I'm gonna call it strained conditioning. Basically, it's like, hear a song. If you want to play that song, write it down. Go onto YouTube, loop it over and over and over, right? Beat it into yourself, and then go onto Google. Hopefully there's a drum tab that you can look up on this app called Songster or some crap that like gives you a run through of the song.
Yeah.
So it's only the drums. Like say like if I wanted to play Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold, and if I wanted to learn how to play it, go on Songster, look it up. It gives you like as if you're looking at you're in class.
Yeah. So it's like sheet music.
Yeah, it's sheet music online, and you
how
just look it up.
How is sheet music for drums? That's got to be. It's a little different. Obviously, you're not working with notes, the same way.
People think it's harder, and they're right, but it's different because we're using our hands and our feet. We're not using our mouths. Yeah. Like a good high schooler would, if you know what I mean.
That makes sense.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just, it looks like a lot, especially if it's a lot of the more jazzy, because people think rock's the hardest genre to play along to. No, jazz.
There's swing to it.
Yeah,
right?
swing, because like there's a lot of like if you ever seen guitar sheet music before?
Yeah.
Like like those strings that go over like you're playing like a chord or something.
Yeah.
That looks way more on crack when you're playing jazz music, because like if you're playing, there's a lot of, you're keeping your foot tapped on the hi-hat for eighth note consistency to keep the beat for you, a lot of rhythmic tom playing, a lot of weird like swing on the fucking
I was gonna
cymbal.
say too, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that jazz music has a little bit like, most music is in 4/4 time. And jazz music will fuck with that. They'll do some 3/4 times.
They'll do 3/4, 7/8, 2/6.
Which is
12/8. I fucking hate 12/8.
Yeah, I don't even see. I'm very limited in my knowledge. That took one music theory class, so
That's why I respect people that know more than just the 4/4, 3/4. Because if you can, or 6/8. 6/8 is just 3/4, but they make it look more complicated.
Just longer, yeah.
Because it's like, if you're gonna make a song in 6/8, make it in 3/4. If you can, don't make it longer, because you're gonna make it look more complicated, and it's gonna scare people.
So for people to get an idea of what it is we're talking about, that we talked about last week, the driver's license song is 4/4 time. Basically, every song that you will hear on the radio,
more often than not, it's 4/4. Yeah,
you can literally go like dot 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 dot, and there you go. It's 4/4 time. For someone, do you have an example off the top of your head? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, of something that would be in one of these interesting time signatures.
My favorite song of all time is called "Save Me" by Avenged Sevenfold. It is an 11-minute song, and all of it is in 6/8 3/4.
6-8-3-4.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of us who don't understand what that means, what does that mean?
Okay, so
The 6 and the 8 and the 3/4.
as a 4/4 for 4/4, it's the quarter note gets the beat, and
Yeah.
there's 4 beats in a measure.
Yeah.
For 6/8, it is the exact same thing as a 3/4, just they make it look complicated because 3/4 it's 3 beats in a measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. Well, for 6/8, it's the 8th note would get the beat, and there's 6 beat per measure.
Okay.
But if it's just looking at it in quarter notes, they'd make the quarter notes
That would
become
make the quarter
half
notes.
notes.
Okay.
Yeah, they just stretch it out to piss you off.
Okay.
That's what my band teacher, Mr. Sheely, told me. Like when we were going for a solo ensemble stuff.
Yeah.
He gave me one of my songs. I can't remember what it was called, but I have the book at my house still because I have like an entire sheet of like 50 different songs I had to learn through.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Now, this looks scary, right? Now, be honest. This looks complicated, and you don't think you can play it.
Yeah.
I don't think I could play anything, Mr. Sheely. You can. This," and he clapped his hands. I'm like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Condense it. You see that quarter note? It's an 8th note."
Hmm.
And he had me go through and write everything down into 3/4, and it was like the most basic thing I've ever
I
seen
was
in my
gonna say
entire
too.
life.
That'll probably help you memorize it too, getting to rewrite the whole
Yeah.
thing again. That's crazy. So what is like? Obviously, a lot of people are in band, but that's a story, a world that I know nothing about is doing band
You
and
didn't do
whatnot.
band,
I did
really?
band in grade school, but for like
so
a couple.
you didn't do band. Got
I
it.
did band until they were like, "Yo, do you want to study hall instead of band?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to study hall." And then so that's what I did. And so
I was in choir and band.
I'm jealous of people that were in choir because it would help me a lot with what I'm doing now.
It
And I
made me a
didn't
lot
do
of
it.
friends. Let's just put it that way. But I always was good in grade school because everyone always liked that I was a guy that had a more higher pitched voice.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously changed, but going into high school, there was like when I went into choir, I didn't want to do it my freshman year, but a lot of my friends were like begging me to because they had like no guys. Because, if you're in choir,
Well, choir's by nature is made up of a
It's
lot of
a
people.
lot
You
of-
need a lot of
yeah.
different voices. So
and a lot of my high school, because I went to Central, there was like 4 guys in our entire choir section
mm-hmm.
throughout all the grades combined.
Yeah,
So it was weird being one of those 4 guys.
gotcha.
But thankfully, my friend Curtis was also there, so he was able to keep me company. I obviously had a lot of my female friends in there because growing up, I had more girlfriends than guy friends.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my family is female, so I always connected more.
Okay.
With,
Yeah,
like
that
when
makes
we
sense.
had our time where we were apart for a plethora of time, all my cousins are females.
Yeah.
You and Logan were like the only guys I ever really hung out with that
Yeah.
weren't friends. So, I was always the guy that could be a part of like a group of 10 females all jittering, oh, gossiping, and
Yeah.
having all their fun, or talking about like their growing up stuff, and it never bothers me.
Yeah.
So they were always cool talking about their personal
So you were
stuff.
comfortable
So,
in a choir setting with most
yeah,
of the girls.
because it was
then.
just like if they wanted to go bullshit about Jenna being a thought or something, go ahead.
Yeah, you're
We
not
talk
gonna get
about
upset
how
about it.
Gary kissed Carrie. I don't fucking care. Go ahead.
That's
I'm not
Gary and Carrie bars. I like
Dude.
that. Like that.
I'm good at this music stuff.
Dropping bars on us.
But
So, what, like, with getting into choir and band and whatnot, like, how do you? Because a lot of people, and you did play sports as well.
Mhm.
How did you balance like playing sports and doing that, or was it
Pain.
like you did one and then you did the other?
pain. It was pure pain.
Oh, okay.
A lot of practicing and struggling.
Gotcha.
Football
gotcha.
is a hassle. I love basketball, but having to get it was fine with all practice and all that stuff, but like having to make sure I need to keep up with my vocal practicing for choir or getting my lesson hours in for like recording myself on the set for band lessons and crap like that. It was a lot. It was a toll.
Well, you know what some people don't know, and this is what I didn't know until I was in some music classes in college and whatnot. Because that's when I was obviously now doing music, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I want to learn a little bit about this. I had some
And
electives.
you wanted to be cool finally.
Yeah, so I was like, exactly. So that's what it was. Wanted to be cool, and so I when I was getting to work with a vocal teacher a little bit. One of the things you learn is that you're kind of supposed to breathe all in your diaphragm here.
Yep.
Sports, I gotta breathe all, in my nose, out through my mouth to keep like my oxygen going through my whole body. And
when
with
you're
this,
singing, it's all
mouth
down
too.
here.
It's a lot of mouth breathing.
Mhm.
And like she was literally teaching me and I was struggling so hard just to breathe, dude. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's so like
it's a struggle.
But so I would go from like literally I'm doing that for an hour and a half and then have to go to practice for 3 hours and it's
Yep,
like, well,
and it's
shit,
like,
I
man, I can't even do a fucking rep of 10 push-ups.
Yeah,
I am
and
out of shape.
Exactly. And it's just, no, I'm breathing wrong. And then by the time I get used to that, I come back the next day for class and now I'm breathing wrong in that. So I could definitely see that being an issue.
So that's why thankfully being in band and choir, my body was way more conditioned to, like, 'cause in band, I don't play any like I can play trumpet, I can play saxophone, I can play any vocal, or not vocal, but like me blowing. I'm not gonna do the action.
Any brass?
That was embarrassing.
Yeah, any brass instrument.
I can play those because I just know how to make notes. Like a lot of people struggle because they don't know how to make their fingers, but because I'm not sure it's because I'm just anxious a lot, but I will always be at work or anywhere, and I'll always be like just tapping my hands because I love making drum sounds on everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm quirky, so like I was always good at like doing really fast. Like I could go hop on a trumpet and go, and they'd be like,
fun stuff.
What the fuck are you doing?
So can you read the sheet music for that too and whatnot?
I can read any sheet music, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's basically the same thing, believe it or not. It's just like there's a lot more air notes, I'll call it, which is like it looks kind of like a guitar chord, but they're floating quarter notes and they're upside down.
Interesting. So I know very little about sheet music. The music software, you don't need to know sheet music.
See,
you kind of just make it.
Sheet music was where I first learned how to read music, so
which is the best way, and I recommend anybody that's going into music learn how to do that.
If you're learning music, please don't be afraid to like look up like a sheet of anything.
Absolutely.
Know what notes look like, and then it'll all fall into place.
Well, and that's the thing. If you can just read sheet music, you can play any song.
Yeah,
when you do it the way I do it, and you just fucking like you just play a thing.
I would love to see you sight read something.
I literally have to sit there and go like, every good boy does fine. I literally in my head, and it's I'm a little faster than that once I get in the rhythm. But I literally, when I took this class, I was like, shit, I'm trying to think back to like 3rd grade and the last time I fucking read notes, and I'm in fucking college, and I'm sitting there like, okay. And my teacher all power to her, would sit there and wait for me to do it in front of the whole class, and like, dude, how can you do it? And I was like, this is what I asked for, so I'm gonna do it.
It's conditioning. Yep.
By the end of it, I could do it a little bit faster, but it's probably in one ear out the other at this point. I haven't used
band
it much.
In 3rd grade.
We did like violin in 3rd grade.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's technically a percussion instrument. The violin, strings is percussion. Fun fact.
Strings is so like guitar. Interesting. Well, is it because you're striking? Okay, that makes sense. Oh, wow.
See, I didn't get to start band until I was in 5th grade. And it's funny because my band teacher, Mr. Murphy, bless his soul, I love that man, he was very reluctant to have me be a drummer because my biggest reason for wanting to play drums in the first place, I love it now, obviously, till the day I die. But back then, I didn't really care for music aside from listening to it. And I'd always have like these like books like for school. For some reason, like my planner, I'd always go through and I'd write down the words. Like I wanted to see if I could listen to a song, if I could figure out what every single word was, and I'd write it down. To see, oh hey, I know this, I can sing this now. Yeah. Because I was more interested in singing back when I was younger, and
so what made you transition?
My dad, as I'm sure you know, your dad was a guitarist. My dad was a drummer. Yeah. He loved the drums, and I didn't really have a close bond with him because he was always at working. Yeah. And I thought, oh, maybe if I'm a drummer, like he'll come watch me at concerts. Like, well, I'll be able to bond with him about music. And I was like, that was my number one thing for wanting to become drums.
Gotcha.
The reason I know how to play every other instrument is because in grade school, Mr. Murphy did not want me to be a drummer because there was already 13 percussionists going into 5th grade. Yeah.
Well, I know it's competitive. I know even in my school, that was, so this is, I guess I semi-lied.
People think it's the easiest one.
Well, see, where I was, everyone thought it was the coolest shit. Me too. And so like when I got the option, when it was like, oh, you get a study hall or you do band, I said they have 1 week of tryouts for percussion because they only keep a couple people for it.
Damn, they have tryouts for you
They
guys?
literally had tryouts. You had to literally show if you could like keep rhythm, if you could keep rhythm good enough and like whatever, but they were only going to keep the people who could do it the best. So I went in, I was fucking nervous as fuck. I sucked at the other instruments I played, and I was like going to take the study hall, but I was like, you know what? I want to see if I could fucking drum because that'd be badass. So then I fucking go in, suck dick. They say no. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm starting a flicky kick it football league in study hall. And that's what I did. And so I never turned back, never did band again. So, you know, shout out to
like
my grade school
crowd.
It was tough. I sucked. I did suck. I didn't deserve to be in there.
That's what practice makes perfect. Dude,
exactly.
You know?
No
one's ever perfect. That saying practice makes perfect is bullshit. Don't go by that ever in your life.
Yeah.
Practice makes you decent.
I just obsess until it's the quality is sufficient. That's what I do. That's what I would say.
That's kind of how I am. I will do something until it's up to my standards, but because I'm stupid, I make standards too high to reach that I know I'll never achieve, but that gives me the reason to keep trying.
Yeah, one that, you know, by doing that, you're going to reach in any facet of life, not music,
not
anything.
Just music. This goes for everything.
Literally anything. I have the similar problem where I bite off more than I can chew, but it's on because basically if I can get a good amount of it down, I did more than the person that would have set the goal here. If they would have said, "Oh, I hope I can do 10, whatever," and I'm like, "Well, I hope I can do 1,000." Like,
Exactly.
okay, I'm probably not gonna hit the 1,000.
It's a mind game thing.
But if I can get hella close,
I mean, hey, you almost did it.
yeah. So that's what it. And then I'm better off than if I were to set that goal at 10 and did the same percentage of closeness. So
it's like how it is with working out, cardio exercises, anything. It's like if you have a goal, don't just go for the goal that you or someone else set for you. Surpass it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like our guy. He's gonna shirt. Yeah, Goku.
Always
go past your limits, dude.
Goku is the
There's your
man.
Dragon Ball Z reference for the show. You're welcome.
Exactly.
I got you,
dude. I gave a speech on Goku. McKenna, shut the fuck up, says Ariana. Yeah, Yana's on McKenna's ass.
Hi, Ariana.
Yeah, no, DBZ, dude. I gave a speech on Dragon Ball Z in college in public speaking class because it was
public speaking.
Did you know it was the first not child show, but like the first like show geared towards children to have like an episodic format before DBZ, because it re-aired when we were growing up, but it aired like 10 or 15 years before that originally.
Yeah.
And it was like the first show to ever have like an episode, because people thought kids were too dumb to follow a story. Yep. And so it was the first show that was like, and they introduced it, and this is like a great storytelling now, like pretty much everybody does this, where they introduced the villain on day one, or like the sub villain, and he's a million times more powerful than your protagonist, and then the whole season is trying to build to that person because that's how you teach. Like, because the problem with a lot of like media and movies and TV shows and dramas and things is that like whatever the main antagonist is will either not show up until the last act, or they show up and
that's why I fucking hate Superman.
Superman is my least favorite superhero of all time. I've heard that there are really good comics. I know some people are gonna come at me. I've heard that there are really good comics that make him not suck. Yeah. But he's just boring. He's just boring to me.
Because he's already OP.
Yeah.
You're making him like I don't watch any. I'm not a big DC guy regardless. Like I'll vibe with Batman.
Batman's legit.
He's cool.
He's legit. I hear Wonder Woman's cool too, but I think she's a goddess as well. So it's like not as interesting.
Like with Superman, he makes every other aside from their little convenient plot device kryptonite that makes him suck.
Yeah.
He is OP.
Yeah.
That's why like everyone's like, "Oh, but Goku versus Superman," that whole big thing. It's like, well,
have you seen those videos?
Yeah, I have. Like Death Battle did it horribly. I hated how Death Battle did it because they really didn't use Goku right. And there was a video I watched that shit on it, and it was hilarious. But as much as I want Goku to win because I like him sufficiently more than Superman,
There's
Man
no
of
way.
Steel, they literally made him OP. Like they have to write arcs where he is fighting multi-dimensional galaxy overlords that he's just one punching into the fucking sun.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, cool. So you gave me so much story I could give no fucks about.
Yeah.
Just to watch you, I win.
Well, that's the thing.
It's like One Punch Man. One Punch Man's a perfect example. I love that show because it's obvious. Like, yeah, I can punch you and I'll kill you.
But the thing is,
it's hilarious.
Is that it's parroting Superman.
Yes.
And that's what's hilarious
that's
about
why that
One
show
Punch
does so
Man.
well. It's like, yeah, see that guy over there on DC? Dog water.
Yeah, it's just he's just boring. Like there's just no justification. Like Batman's way more interesting. There's a million.
The Flash, he's there because he's fast.
Yeah.
Superman's faster than the Flash, so fuck the Flash.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Batman's mortal. He's just a dude that has a brain and he's got some cool gear.
Have you seen the Pete Holmes the Badman sketches from College Humor?
Yes, I have. That shit
I'm
is
just
so
rich
funny.
and nuts. It said I'm rich and nuts, and I love his Batman and Superman video. That's hilarious. He's like, "You're white bread."
Detective Gordon.
Yeah, yeah. Where's Rachel? We used to watch that shit on like repeat in high school.
Yep.
Just anytime we could.
Hilarious.
Pete Holmes is hilarious. He should play Batman. That would be nuts.
That'd be great.
The Twilight guy's playing Batman though.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, I actually think he's gonna be good. A lot of people.
I think he's gonna be good too. I have a sneaking suspicion because I was never a big fan of Twilight, but
I don't know.
Dude's handsome.
But why wouldn't I don't know why they wouldn't go for someone who plays a vampire anyways. Like I feel like a vampire aesthetic, like any guy, like Patterson in this case, Robert Pattinson, or is it Pattinson or Patterson?
Yeah,
Pattinson. Okay, and then Ian Somerhalder from fucking. I'm a big fucking Vampire Diaries fan. They should have got Ian Somerhalder, dude. He fucking just looks like Batman.
Well, does he have one in his name or two? One, right?
He's got one.
So he's not as good.
That's fair.
See, but I got two, so that makes me the cool one.
That makes you better. You got
just
the N squared.
better than any other Ian out there, obviously.
That makes sense. He's a terrific actor, and he's
great.
like he's jacked, and like he could have easily played back. I just would be cool because he's older too. He's like
You're
40s.
fanboying.
I am. I'm fanboying 100%,
totally.
and I just think like he would be perfect fit for Batman because I don't understand. like like dudes who play vampires are all pale, dark
Yeah.
hair. And like they've got, like you said, great jaw lines, and girls are gonna come see the movie because he's super good looking.
Oh my God, is he shirtless?
And he's jacked, so the dudes are gonna be like, yo, he's kicking ass, and he's jacked, and he's fucking Batman, so we love Batman. Let's go. Like,
Dude,
I just think it would be a good casting decision.
Vampire Batman. I just made DC millions right there.
That would
with
be
that
huge.
simple line.
That would be huge.
Did you see Batman? He's fucking up. I don't know. I can't think of a villain that he fights, like the Riddler or some shit.
And
he just bites him on the neck.
That's the thing
what
too.
The fuck just happened?
That's the thing too with Superman, bro. Name me one Superman villain. Do you know any? I
Lex
don't know
Luthor?
any. Is he just a Superman villain?
He's a multi one, but he started off with. I'm pretty sure he started off with Superman.
Okay, because
what is it? Abomination. Or
Abomination fights Hulk.
Oh, is that a Hulk
Marvel,
guy?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Batman,
I don't
dude.
care
this
about
guy-
Superman.
like Batman is fucking dope. He's got all the best villains.
He does.
Like
Penguin, Riddler,
the Joker,
Heath Ledger.
dude. Yeah, the Joker, Mr. Freeze,
Mr.
dude.
Freeze.
Arnold
Yup.
Schwarzenegger got to play
Poison
him once.
Ivy even.
Yeah, all those guys are cool, and he's got Robin.
Scarecrow. I mean, fuck.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day at work. Is that it's interesting when like something becomes like the idea of something then translates and transcends that into just like that's how we refer like people duos Batman and Robin.
Yep.
Like
people
I can
would think
say
of that as like, oh, this is so cool, but nowadays that's the norm.
Yeah, like but like any other if you see like a buddy cop movie, like that's Batman and Robin. Like it's like that's his Batman to his Robin. Like I just think it's crazy when like some things like transcend that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was crossing my mind while I was stocking shelves like Batman and Robin is like a thing. People like say that and it's a huge franchise and all these things. And I was thinking too with like I was watching this video recently about how Blade, have you seen the old Blade movies?
Yes, I have.
Those like paved the way for Marvel Studios to be able to do what they've done now.
Those movies, along with other older Marvel movies like the original Thor movies and the really not good Hulk movie, everyone dumped on all those. But then because they got dumped on, out came Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, Chris Evans is Captain America, and all these superb, and now look where we are.
Well, that's the thing. So Blade happened like a few years prior, and no one really wanted it because every Marvel like superhero movie to date had bombed, and then Blade came out and did really well and didn't have a crazy budget. And Wesley Snipes literally like is the craziest method actor of all. He's hilarious, dude. He did a full interview. In character as Blade. Like for the movie, and is still, and he made every single. Ryan Reynolds said on the third Blade that he would not allow you to speak to him and refer to him as anything but Blade, and he would only talk to cast members through sticky notes signed Blade, and he would like give them to people. And
that's awesome.
I just couldn't imagine. Ryan said it was like he said it was like a nightmare, like working for him. From what I heard,
I love
but
Ryan Reynolds.
He is
one of my
Deadpool.
favorite.
So, but yeah, but like you mentioned with the other movies, it's so. Iron Man came out first and then like did really well, and then people were like, oh, maybe superhero movies are going to be good, and then Hulk came out like this later that year, and everyone was like, oh shit, maybe they're not going to be good.
Awful. And then the original Thor came out, and
Thor had mixed reviews. The original one, it was okay. It's not great.
I thought it sucked, but
I think the second one isn't that good. But
no, Dark World is dog shit.
Yeah, but the third one is one of the best
Into the dog
MCU
shit
movies.
Thor Into the Dog Shit.
That would make sense. The third Thor though,
or Dog Water, so they can advertise it.
So you've seen all of them though, right?
Yeah,
you've seen all the MCU movies.
Howard the Duck.
Dude, oh gosh, no, I will not watch that movie.
It's not
but
good.
what was I gonna say about Thor Ragnarok though? You big Thor Ragnarok guy? I love that movie.
I think it's one of the best movies they got.
I think it's I think those and the Guardians movies are like probably the best movies in all of the MCU, dude.
Personally, I was not a huge fan of Guardians 2.
Really? Why? I cried, dude. I cried like
I'm
a
sure
bitch.
You cry, yeah, but I'm not an emotional person. Like, I'm not gonna cry. Like, I'll like care.
You're gonna cry when
I don't
the
cry.
fucking
I'm
his
not a
father
crier.
figure passes away. Spoilers. My bad.
I mean, shit. I mean, maybe it'll hit the chord. Like, it'll take my chord and go. Ding.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna cry. Like, I don't get emotional.
And
towards
father
movies.
and son is playing in the background. It's beautiful soundtrack. James Gunn knows what to do with the soundtrack. Just great, dude.
I like a movie that is funny. It's got some good action and it's got intriguing storytelling.
I think we check all those boxes in that movie.
Yeah, no, that's why I liked Guardians 1 so much. Because it planted its own little universe inside the movie, right? And it's like, okay, we're a Marvel movie, so you have to care about us.
Yeah.
That movie, Guardians 1, would have totally succeeded by itself.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have any connections. Like, you didn't hear any references to anybody else.
Well, it had references, but yeah,
Not
nothing like
substantial ones. But you see what I'm saying? Guardians 2, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Like, I fucking love the movie regardless. It's hilarious. I liked it. It's just, I think the first one is substantially better because it succeeded on every standpoint on its own.
Yeah.
Guardians 2, I feel like it kind of relied on, like I'm not saying a lot of stuff, but, like, it made callbacks to the first movie a decent amount.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the fact that
and, like, that's how a lot of sequels are, but that's also the same case as why a lot of the like not prequels like Star Wars, god awful, no. Like, the first movie of a franchise will often be the best. That's why Thor changed that, because Thor 1 and 2 were and then Ragnarok fucking
well, Waititi said that he just wanted to do a different thing with with Thor and take him a different direction, which is cool. I think it's just cool. I think the best part about, and I nerd out about Marvel, like I probably spend way too many hours watching Marvel videos on YouTube and reading things, and my opinion is skewed, but I just think it's really cool that the MCU is able to, like, they take from the comics, but they can do whatever they want. Because a lot of people forget.
And that's why DC sucks, because they really try to stick to the comics.
Well, and this is the problem, is that people don't understand. There was a reason comic books stopped being cool. Like, comic books came out, were really cool, then they were not cool because fucking the writers got terrible, and they started writing garbage storylines, and they were letting anybody write these comics, and then what did Marvel have to do? And DC had to do? They had to sell film rights to their that was the only way that these companies could stay in business, was to sell their film rights, and that's why you got shitty movies made for the longest time.
Spider-Man was Sony.
Yeah, Sony Spider-Man did really great, the first one, and the second one is actually pretty dope too.
And the third, I liked the third one.
I liked it when I saw it when I was growing up.
What's his name? Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
those movies. They're not good superhero movies, but they're good comedy movies.
Well, the third one brings me a lot of joy now watching it, but
it's fucking
the whole sequence. Yeah, it's fucking.
I was laughing my ass off.
It's hilarious. He's gonna probably be in the new one.
Yes.
Yeah, all three of them. That's gonna be super cool. I'm nerding out. But you haven't seen WandaVision, as we talked earlier.
Yes.
Because of the Disney Plus situation.
I'm terrible at this.
But so you're not on any. I wanted to get this because I remember getting a picture for this podcast was a struggle for me to get, because I post and the reason I post all my guests now is because I had a lot of problems back in the day where people will wait till like an hour beforehand and text me like, oh, I'm not coming, or not text me at all, and then just not show up. And so, like, I post and it's not like the only reason I post everybody. It's so that people can get excited too. But like, for
this is gonna be the guy on the show or female on the show.
Exactly. So it's just nice. People have something to look forward to. Other people can't back out. It's good win-win for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like I was looking for your picture.
If you don't show up, it's your fault. Dick.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's when they don't show up, then people actually know who it was. Because before I was just doing it kind of incognito. But so I was looking for a picture for you beforehand, and we came to the conclusion you're not on any social media.
Nope. Aside from Snapchat,
which we communicate pretty regularly on. So why aren't you on any social media?
I just never really.
Did you never create social media?
Never. I do have a Facebook, but I did that because for a game I used to play on my phone when I was like 10 years old. Or on the tablet, from my grandma's tablet when I was 10 years old. There was like a special like little login bonus.
So you never wanted to get on social media?
I just didn't ever really care for it because I had a track phone going into high school.
Okay.
I didn't get a smartphone.
Yeah.
So like, I always have these people like, you know, back in the day, grade school Ian, thinking he's tough shit, little pimp dude, you know, short little hair.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
A high pitched voice because I was, you know, Ian.
I mean, you didn't hit puberty yet. You can't blame yourself.
I did. It's just my voice stayed high. Like, I can assure you, shit changed.
Young choir boy.
Yeah, young choir boy.
There you go. Yeah.
But I'd always have people asking me, "Hey, what's your Snapchat? Hey, what's your Instagram? Or what's your MySpace?"
I asked you that when we were trying to get the picture for this. Yes, I know.
I was just like, I don't have one. There's nothing I own could support any of those for the longest time because I had a track phone, a little flip phone.
Okay.
You couldn't get Facebook on a track phone.
You think you would have got one if you had it?
Maybe.
Because you still don't have it. You have a regular phone now.
Because like I said, back in the day, you know, you're going through puberty, all your hormones going crazy. I had a lot of chicks asking me for Snapchat.
They wanted ways to get in contact with you. Okay.
So when I got my first iPhone, and end of 8th grade going into freshman year, I would like I'd go on my track phone, get all the contacts, you know, swapped over, and all these people would be like, "Oh, dude, you know, you got your phone. What's your Snapchat? Like, what's all this?" And like, I got a phone number?
Yeah.
I don't got anything else because I just never cared enough to create it. I didn't really care.
Okay.
I didn't talk to a lot of, like, I had a lot of people I talked to, like, in person, but I didn't really text people.
Yeah.
Like, if I talked to you, I'd probably be playing with you over Xbox, or I just see you at school the next day.
Is it still the same way then for you? Because you still don't have one.
Well, nowadays I am more often than not always on Snapchat because I didn't myself give myself Snap. As I told you before, I didn't get Snapchat myself.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with at my time, he was my friend Parker, but because we were hanging out with him and my friend Nick, but there was a picture of this kid that I knew named Weston, who was my cousin at the time, because my aunt and uncle married in, so like family was married in.
Mm-hmm.
Found out that Parker went for my best friend. He was my cousin too now, because he was related to that little boy in the picture. And I'm like, so we had this big moment, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I left my phone out, and my phone didn't have a password at the time, so he got on my phone and made me a Snapchat.
What was his reasoning? Just he wanted to be able to Snapchat you?
I'm gonna quote this from him because it's not how I thought about it at the time. Dude, chicks think you're hot. Get your dick wet. I got you.
Okay.
That's what he told me, and I was like,
that sounds like a young
guy
stupid
thing.
boy
Sophomore
thing to
year.
say. Yeah.
And I looked at him. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Because as I'm in there, because obviously I'm not taking a leak. I'm not gonna go into detail. He added I think 15 people. And was just like, here, I got you some people to talk to. I put myself on there, and I gave you some people that I know you talk to that think you're hot. Go ahead, buddy. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So he had to teach me how to use Snapchat.
Oh, that's fun.
And
I remember I had a similar thing where I didn't get an iPhone until I was a freshman in high school, and it was like midway through my freshman year. And yeah, my friends, made an Instagram for me, they didn't make a Twitter for me until like the next year, but they made me all the things, and I learned how to use them from using their phones before. I almost
had an Instagram.
Why don't you want to get an Instagram?
Because I don't know.
I mean, I'm not trying to convince anybody. I know there's a lot of fucked up shit with social media that I'm sure you're probably happy to not have to deal with. There's a lot of anxieties and insecurities that go on with having it. Trust me.
I just never really had an interest.
Well, see, I love it because it does bring you get a chance to meet people and see things that you would not otherwise get to see.
That's why I'm fine with Snapchat, because you can get that from Snapchat. But I don't like.
You got YouTube on your phone too, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay,
yeah,
so then
yeah,
you're connected. You're in the
world
world web. Yeah,
but
that's like my social media. It's like my favorite social media. I go on there, check comments, talk to people every day.
Or some shit, I'll look up what's going on there.
Yeah.
Because I've for some reason been falling back into keeping up. I don't watch anything of it, but on YouTube I'll watch news updates about WWE stuff.
Oh, okay, WWE.
Because I loved it. My friend Dylan Griffin, way back in the day, we'd watch it every time together.
When did you watch it? Because I used to watch this a long time ago. I haven't watched WWE since, but
I stopped watching wrestling back in 2014, I think.
Okay, I'm trying to think when the dates would have lined up. I think I stopped watching before high school, but it was like
that was right before my freshman years when I stopped, because my reason I watched it was because I had fun with my friend.
Yeah.
He moved. I didn't get to see my friend anymore. I didn't have fun watching wrestling anymore, and there was stuff going on at the time I just didn't care about.
Yeah. Well, it's tough with WWE. A lot of people don't know and you should actually if you enjoyed WWE at all, because I don't watch any at all anymore. Mm-hmm. But Joe Rogan, and I'm not a super.
His podcast.
He had The Undertaker on. Mm-hmm. The guy who his story of how he got into wrestling was insane, dude. He sat in fucking. And I don't want to butcher it. You guys go watch it if you're listening to this. Go watch Rogan. It's way more interesting than this. We promise. Just fucking. It's the Undertaker, dude. Yeah, I can't beat that, dude.
If Mark Calloway walked downstairs, I think I'd shit my pants.
Dude, it's just insane to just hear him talk about his story. He couldn't get a job, and he would literally sit in this office of this fucking it was this low budget wrestling league that wasn't obviously televised or anything. He would sit in the fucking foyer every day for 8 months until the owner came in and was like, "Who is that guy?" And the desk person was like, "Oh, he comes in here every day." He's like, "Get him a job. Let's see what he could do." And then that's how he got into wrestling.
And so that's how he got the cameo Mean Mark Callis.
Yeah, he I forget.
I didn't watch the podcast, but I just know.
Yeah,
I like to watch new stuff.
Yeah, his stuff. His first character was not super great, and he did a couple matches as them, and then what's his face? I always thought
that was so cool. It's the characters we see now. Think about how many characters they played before.
Well, dude, even John Cena, bro. John Cena had a really cringe rapper thing before he fucking became John Cena.
Yeah, or Kane. He played, I think, 4 different people. He used to play some barber dude or some butcher. I don't know what the fuck he was, but he was 4 different. And then he was the fake Diesel.
Yeah.
When Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went to go to WCW.
Yeah.
WWE had a fake Razor Ramon and a fake Kevin Nash. And Glenn Jacobs played the fake Kevin Nash for a year and a half.
Crazy, dude. You know what's insane to me? That I don't think people give fucking WWE, and this is
enough credit.
It's people really shit on it because it's like, oh, because they like know who's gonna win and it's scripted, but it's like it's just a TV show. Like if you look at it through the lens of like, dude, it's a action movie basically.
It's not it's wrestling, but it's professional wrestling. That's why they changed the name to wrestling entertainment.
Yeah.
Because they're making you watch characters that you're supposed to connect to,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to do their job and tell a compelling story.
I did get really bored. This is when I stopped watching. Was when Raw became 3 hours long, and
Yeah.
they fucking the
Yep.
amount of talking. Because don't get me wrong, like
It was fun, but it was just so much.
and I don't want to sound like some dude who like needs a bunch of action because I'm usually not really into like super actiony movies unless it's like done really well. Like I like sci-fi stuff and stuff like that. I'm not against action movies, but like a Fast and Furious, like I'm not big into those franchises where it's just like nonstop action.
Okay.
John Wick, different, completely. That's the same thing, but I fucking love it.
You vibe with it.
Yeah, I just love the
Because Fast
world
and Furious
building.
is more car related.
Yeah, I just
so-
like the world building in John Wick
Yeah.
too. It's really cool. But
Yeah,
but so like fucking with something like that, and it became where I'm watching 3 hours of fucking TV on just Monday because I'm gonna watch. I was so
Yeah.
obsessed when I was younger.
Yeah,
I would
no,
watch
same.
Friday Night SmackDown too. I was
SmackDown
watching.
was always better.
I'm watching both, and so I'm allotting like 5 to 6 hours a week of my time to this show, and I get to watch my fucking favorite person fight for fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah, if even
If even he
'Cause
gets
a lot
selected
of
to
the
fight.
time, because how their top guys are. If Vince doesn't like you, you're not gonna get ring time.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of times where your favorite superstar might get like a 2-minute match, or
Yeah.
it's a squash match. You get shit on by
Who's
somebody.
your favorite characters? If you had to like pick 3.
From nowadays or back in the day?
Like when you were actively watching a lot.
When I used to watch it all the time, I was a big CM Punk guy.
CM Punk
I
was
always
cool.
liked him a lot.
He got his ass beat in real fight.
Oh, in real MMA, he
got-
got like 0-8, and that was it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think he
won a
got
fight,
murdered.
right?
Yeah, he's a cool dude and super
He's
talented.
awesome,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna say you're not
Phil
talented.
Brooks, you're a great guy.
Yeah, just don't
But-
try and do that if you're not built for it. So
But CM Punk, I loved the Shield. Roman Reigns has always been one of my favorite characters.
Oh,
if you
okay,
know who
yeah.
that is.
yeah. That was like right after, as the end of I was watching. I was huge. I loved Randy Orton and Christian.
Randy Orton,
their
Edge,
beef.
yep.
Edge and Christian, and so for people that don't know, Edge and Christian were brothers, and like Edge was like,
Brothers. They're
yeah,
friends in real life,
yeah,
but-
they're just friends, but they were like
Story.
brothers in the story of WWE, and Edge was like for the longer time, like he was like one of the top guys, and
Yeah, he
Christian was
always
kind of
one of the top heels.
yeah, Christian was one more like a
Bad guy.
side
He was a
guy,
bad guy.
yeah, and a bad dude. And I started watching WWE as like we didn't know what we were doing. Like we were bored as fuck at our grandparents' house on a Friday night, and we were just flipping through channels, and this was on cable. So
Yep.
okay,
And then all of a sudden, bam! This dude's got dropped on his ass. What was that?
dude, it wasn't even that. It was Christian was fucking. It's just like the skit. Christian's at a fucking casino, and he's like, I got Randy Orton's wallet, and he like fucking just like spends all of his money, and he's like says something to Randy Orton's kids, and then he's there, and then he spits on Randy Orton's face, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck is
guy's
going on? This is
badass. That was-
awesome.
yeah,
And so I
yep.
love Christian. we have his fucking like action figure. We got Hulk Hogan back here too or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Randy Orton too. I just love the memes, bro. You cannot beat the Randy Orton memes. When
No,
that
they're
became
so
a
funny.
thing, was the best
it.
ever, dude.
I remember I showed one of my friends this compilation of just like an RKO compilation where it's just like all these very unfortunate things happening to these good people, and it's like RKO.
Have you seen? I've seen fucking dude. There's Randy Orton versus Thanos, bro. It's
There
legendary.
was a video I saw that was during the whole presidential election thing. I don't want to get political about this. I don't like politics, but
yeah,
it was people obviously didn't like Biden or Trump, so they were like very
yeah,
like fuck.
yeah.
And there was a video. It's like, okay, there's that, but what if? And then it's a clip of this old dude holding it. It's like Bernie Sanders comes into cash and his money in the bank.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
got-
you see an old dude just knock this other old dude off a podium, and he's like,
Just
holding up
holding
this
the money.
briefcase. I was laughing my ass off.
I will say, dude, if you've never bought, have you ever bought a pay-per-view? Have you ever seen a pay-per-view for WWE? Because
No.
obviously we
That's
never.
not true. I saw the WrestleMania where it was The Rock and John Cena for the second time.
Oh, I think we have that on DVD. But we never could get the pay-per-view. Obviously,
Same.
we're not rolling in the dough like that. Where I could just be like,
Nope.
Mom, can you give me fucking $80, $60 to go watch fucking WWE for 3 hours?
Yep.
What, dude? Are you
Yep,
kidding
it's
me?
like, Darren, no.
But like, so that's like, and it's great marketing on their part too. Is where like basically, if you don't watch WWE and you don't know, this is what they do. This is their business plan. I don't know if they've added days or lost days, but they used to do Monday Night Raw and then Friday Night SmackDown, and then they added like a Saturday morning Slam that they would do like lower guy fights.
Yeah, I remember like the lower card
Yeah.
Saturday morning stuff. I remember I was like,
See if
what
they
the
could pick
fuck?
up
They
some
had WWE
popularity.
in the morning.
Yeah, but
Oh,
basically
you
it was
should see nowadays. Oh my fuck.
it was mostly Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown.
Yep.
And basically you have that. So you have WWE twice a week. And those are kind of like the two like leagues, if you will, kind of how you like the NFC and the AFC and the NFL.
That's exactly what it was. They had the blue brand and the red brand, especially when they did the brand splits.
Yeah, and so you had those two things, and basically
every month. That one Sunday.
Yeah, so you'd have 4 weeks of two fucking twice a week, and then you have at the end of the month you have the pay-per-view, which was like the big deal. And then basically, so like as someone who not getting to watch, like people just not who couldn't afford a pay-per-view, you're watching, and every week I would get so nervous if like someone I liked had the belt and I can't watch the big fight. And then like I gotta wait till Monday to fucking see
or Friday, because usually how they did it was like the SmackDown stuff we talk about on SmackDown.
And so like basically like
so if you're a SmackDown guy and you're rooting for the World Heavyweight Championship, you gotta wait 5 days to find out what the fuck happened if you didn't Google search it already.
And so what would happen was like you would have the first like 2 weeks of every month would be like, you know, the kind of like dust settling from what just happened, and then the next 2 weeks would be building up to the next one.
Story,
so it's like they have a good cycle of getting you hooked over and over again. But we bought, and I will stand by this take, fucking a WWE pay-per-view. If you're gonna buy one, buy Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble
is the best one.
We bought that one time for like Logan's birthday. Bro, that shit slapped. I can't even lie, that shit slapped. Like Christian wasn't even in the league anymore. He was my favorite guy. He wasn't even like in WWE anymore. I don't think.
Watching specifically the Royal Rumble itself is just so, especially now because they have the men's and women's Royal Rumble. You know about the whole like women's explosion. They had like a women's evolution. So now it's like, remember how back in the day it was the divas?
Yeah. They have like a lot more women
lower
wrestlers
card
now.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Now women's like is like right there with the guys. They made them important, and I like that because it's more stars to pay attention to, and it's like more
storyline.
Yeah,
more storyline.
So they have for shows for reference to you now, because obviously I don't think you watch anymore. It's Monday Night Raw, NXT, 205 Live, Friday Night SmackDown. Occasionally they have a show on Thursday, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, every so often, every couple months, they have 2 Sunday pay-per-views. And there's a lot more extra stuff, like Fastlane is usually it's like it used to go Survivor Series, TLC, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. That's how the formula was back in the day.
Dude, and the fucking these people don't understand about WWE is fucking some of these things are insane. TLC stands for table, ladders, and chairs, bro. They're throwing people through fucking table. Yes, they're fake. They're like meant to break easier, but it's still fucking table.
And there's definite spots where people don't have the right equipment set up, so it can hurt.
That happens all the time. People have literally broken their spines in WWE. Yeah. Like that's the thing that like, yes, the things are scripted. They know they have a general idea of what they're doing. They want
this guy to win this match. They'll book it so this person wins. But the wrestlers, they don't just follow a choreography that they had to learn. They do that shit on their own.
Yeah, there's a lot of it that's
how you know if you're a good professional wrestler is you can just do shit.
And you have to read the other guy. Like you both know who has to win.
Check.
And you have to
Wrestling is the ultimate vibe check.
Dude, for real. Really and people get fucking thrown off Hell in the Cell and die.
I say that. It's like, dude,
what, dude?
Okay, tell me this is fake. Watch McFoley, 30 feet, just through a table. Is he dead? Probably. I mean, dude, is it fake?
That's the thing.
Do you see a pillow down there? It's a fucking concrete floor with a wooden table.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't get is that, like, yes, it is played up for theatrics. It's entertainment. Yes. It's they know who's gonna win. The characters are fake. They're scripted. It's a show. But
and people think, like the moves are fake. It's
the athletes themselves are insane. I mean, first up, they're all fucking juiced up because they have to be on fucking roids to look like action figures. And
especially back in the day, like Triple H, fucking Mr. Inflation over here.
I mean, look at fucking Vince, dude. Oh my God. He's like 80. I just looked up. He's like 75 years old. He's fucking ripped. But like, so these people are literal action figures who not only have to act, but also have to, some of the punches are going to be, obviously the way they throw punches is certain to make it look like they're getting hurt more.
Like with the side or like forearm.
They do shit so they don't get hurt as much. But bro, at the end of the day, I still have to smack you with this fucking chair.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
a chair is a steel chair.
That's what I'm saying.
People think it's actual steel. That's why they took headshots away because of the concussions and all that shit they always cause. That's why whenever you see a chair shot, it's always to the back. Yeah. And it's like you have to make sure you flatten your back out so you take the blow properly. Otherwise, it's gonna hurt like hell.
It's just really interested me because I knew it was fake. Like I never got into it growing up. It was like a very small window of like 2 or 3 years where I was really heavy into it. Yep. Have bought all the game. The games are actually really fun games.
They stopped being fun, but like they were fun for a while.
I heard they're bad now. I haven't bought any recently.
The last one I had was 2015.
That's the last one I had. Was 15.
Was good. 15 was ass. 16 was ass. 17 was decent. 18 was ass. 19 was.
Did you play them at all?
Yeah, not playing with my friends, and they were dog shit. shit.
Yeah.
You should look up videos on like why. There's a video called Y2K, why WWE video games died.
Yeah.
It's hilarious watching the glitches.
It's really funny. They were fun games because you could like create like the grossest human beings ever and make them. You could actually
Like
there's a lot of
WWE 12.
customization. Yeah.
I remember we used to play WWE 12 back in the day.
Yeah.
That was personally one of my favorite ones because like, you could make these abominations of human beings.
Yeah.
Put them in a Royal Rumble. 30 fat Oompa Loompa looking motherfuckers.
And they're destroying
doing
the Undertaker.
DDTs and suplexes. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, dude. It was so fun. Logan says that the Royal Rumble was a Christmas gift. That's what it was. But yeah, pay-per-view for WWE is definitely worth it. I will say that's like the one thing which is so interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, like real fighting. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and say that WWE is harder than real fighting. You're not gonna catch me saying that. But I will say a lot of people don't understand the intricacies. Just even what you're just explaining, the way I have to take this chair hit so that it doesn't hurt me that bad.
Yeah, it's way more like fighting is its own thing. Professional wrestling, as we're gonna call it, that's like you have to learn. Like when you go watch training tapes, you have to learn how to roll across the ring or bounce off the ropes properly.
Yeah, I mean it's literally it's the same, but it's completely like the same intricacies that you have to learn in fighting. I'm doing some boxing now, like the same intricacies that you have to learn in that, you have to learn in WWE, but for a completely different skill set. Not that it's harder or one's harder than the other, but it's completely different, and people just don't get
like
that.
When people say it's fake, it's like, okay, wrestling's fake. I'm gonna show you all these different finishing moves. Like people think how do you fake the brogue kick? You don't. People get kicked straight in the fucking face.
Yeah.
The knockout punch from Big Show. He just right across the jaw.
But the skill that it takes to do that, and they know how to make
not the knockout punch. It's just a punch.
Yeah, but they know how to make it look incredible and also hurt. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. You have to learn how. You have to learn how to take a hit.
A fucking hit. Yep.
But they also know how to make those hits not hurt as bad, which is crazy because you have to do it over and over again.
Yeah,
and like
that's what makes you good. If you can do a move like the RKO, for example, you think,
RKO's
that's probably
awesome.
not gonna hurt, but it's just grabs your head into the mat. More often than not, you're gonna see him. He'll put his hand, like when he goes to grab you, he puts his hand beneath your face, and then when you go down, when they hit the ground, they'll turn their head a little bit so it's a cushion.
Yeah, and like I like the way you said it as a vibe check. It very much is because you have to know how to. I have to know how to suplex
That's
you.
why
and not hurt
if you ever want to look up somebody, look up Ricochet. He's one. If you think Rey Mysterio was cool with his high flying stuff, look up Ricochet. He's one of the coolest fucking wrestlers I've ever seen with the shit that he does with his body, or Mustafa Ali with his fucking 680 splash that he does off the top rope, or John Morrison with his Starship Pain.
Oh yeah.
All these different like you have to do that. You have to learn how to contort your body in these ways. Like a suplex, that's not just one person. Two people gotta do the suplex.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like right as I got out of watching WWE, like as I was like towards the tail end of me like not watching it anymore really, I would still have this like guilty pleasure of like I have a friend that's in BMX and he was really good, like damn good. Would win at Reese. Shout out Reese. He's been on the podcast before. He would win BMX like he was the best in our state and like the second or third best in the country for like 5 years. Cool, so like he was fucking good. But like
that's cool as fuck.
It's this weird phenomenon of like the car crash thing. When you see a car crash, you can't look away and you're interested. And so like when I went to a couple of his BMX things and like I'm not hoping that someone crashes, especially not my friend.
But the thoughts
But when it happens, you're just like, what the fuck?
Dude, I just saw a wicked wreck, dude.
But so the same thing with like WWE, bro. Like yes, it's fake. But the times especially the times that they fuck up, that's like a lot of people
perform moves wrong.
People either lose their lives or their
careers ended.
They're destroyed. They can't ever do this again.
Perfect example is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He took a pile driver from Owen Hart way back in the day, and because Owen Hart did the move wrong, Stone Cold's head hit the ground, spinal cord completely collapsed on itself.
God, that's gross, dude.
Yep. Like even look at Hulk Hogan, for example. Not the best guy in the world. His finisher was a leg drop.
That can go wrong.
Have you seen his back?
Oh no, I haven't.
Look up a picture real quick.
You want to
look up Hulk Hogan's back surgery real quick?
Or I can pull it up on here.
Gruesome.
His back surgery, dude. I thought it was hilarious that he was in Rocky 3. That's all I'll say.
It's funny because every time I go to watch that movie, I must just not pay attention enough. I always forget that he's in that movie.
Hulk Hogan back pictures. Let's see what that looks like.
After his hit, because like with him doing the drop.
Oh, it's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You guys gotta look that up. That's at home. That's disgusting. His back is gross looking.
And that's just because when he does the move, he just lands on his tailbone.
Yeah.
So his spine is getting.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time, dude.
People think it's just, that looks like a pussy move. Hey, the dude had to spend $55,000.
Owen Hart died from falling off the wrong cage match. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, dude, there's this. We had this fucking DVD of just some random year of the fucking of Money in the Bank, I think it was, that fucking pay-per-view, and it's like it was a tag team for the Money in the Bank. It was like for just the tag team at the time. I don't know if they still do just a tag team case or not, but they used to. And fucking, I forget even who was in the match, bro. But these dudes, and I truly think they were supposed to do this, but I don't think it was supposed to hit him. I think he was supposed to like, I don't know if he was supposed to have, if he had like blood in his nose that was supposed to blow up.
Is it when the ladder flops up and hits the dude right in the face?
Smacks him right in the fucking head, dude.
That was the Hardys, Primo and Epico, and a couple other people.
Okay, shit, you know it.
I remember if you look up wrestling injuries,
dude, he gets fucking. They set
fucking clapped.
They set 2 ladders up like this, and then they put one up like a fucking slingshot, and like guy, it's literally a seesaw.
Yeah,
they seesaw a ladder, and the guy's head is like he's here. And the ladder's underneath it, and they fucking jump on the other side, and it comes up and fucking breaks rips his whole fucking nose.
Yep, because he was in the wrong spot. He didn't, because that's why you have to practice.
I'm pretty sure like he was supposed to like have his hands and like hit his hands and him go like this, and like his fucking head, it just destroys him.
Yep. It was painful.
But like that's kind of what I was saying, like with like the BMX thing, which is fucked up because I don't want people to get hurt, but like you can't not watch it.
You want to see those bumps.
Yeah, you can't not watch it though. Yep. It's like, oh my god.
That's why nowadays when it's like someone got put through the announce table. Okay.
Yeah. Zack Ryder, do you know who Zack Ryder was?
Yeah, I know Zack Ryder.
He broke his spine for real when they threw him through the fucking stage, and I don't know if that like. I literally don't know if like he was gonna get a surgery and they wrote that in, or like I still don't know. I never looked it up, so that's why.
Embrace the hate with Kane and Cena. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he
fucked it up.
This dude literally gets choke slammed through the fucking stage that they come out on, and then they're just like, "Oh my god!" Oh, the announcers too.
He's dead.
They literally go like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! What's wrong with him? Oh my god, Zack Ryder! Oh no, he's throwing that thing!" And like the announcers are great for WWE. Yeah, they are the best.
Nowadays they're pretty meh.
I haven't heard them since, but back then they were amazing.
Jim Ross, Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler. Nowadays, I don't even know who the fuck it is. I think it's Michael Cole still there. Corey Graves, he's okay, but they have like a revolving third guy.
Yeah,
they're usually not good. NXT's got great announcers.
When Booker T used to announce, he was hilarious too, bro. He was fucking funny, dude.
I love Booker T.
Those guys should broadcast other sports. They're just fucking entertaining. They're hilarious. But so like basically, this dude gets choke slammed through the fucking the ramp, and I'm as a kid, and like fucking 7th or 8th grade, I'm like,
damn, he went through straight steel.
Yeah.
He's dead.
And like I'm thinking, oh my god, like he's hurt, but I still knew it was fake. Like we knew it was fake, so I'm like,
they have like things put
I'm like, okay, he's okay. Then he comes back the next week in a fucking wheelchair. They're like, yeah, his fucking spine is broken, and he's not gonna fucking play anymore. He's not gonna be in this for a long ass time. And he came back like 2 years after.
Yep.
I was like, wait,
think about Edge. He had to retire from. Oh, do you not know Edge is back? By the way, spoiler.
Why did everybody comes back like 20 years after?
He got his career ended because he took too many neck injuries.
Okay.
And he wasn't cleared anymore.
Spearing people do that to you.
Yeah, and just getting hit with the wrong, taking moves wrong. Like, Like even a suplex, like you know Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember his jackhammer suplex?
Yeah.
Dude, if he lands wrong, it's the top of your head into the, just like Stone Cold. If it's the top of your head into the mat, and that's all that pressure goes onto your spinal cord. But he had to retire. Obviously, it was sad because everyone liked Edge, and he came back last year. And you in your spare time should watch his return to the 2020 Royal Rumble. I almost cried.
Wow, that's cool.
And that should say something because I'm not emotional, but like watching it, all of a sudden it's like quiet. You think you know me?
And his song,
and then it's all of a sudden.
That was the coolest shit ever too. And in the video games, when I would make myself,
the Royal Rumble is the fucking best,
bro. Like just
all the surprises.
The way WWE set up is fucking genius, dude. Like your character's just this ring that you're at the whole time as a viewer, right? You're just watching the ring, and it's just funny because like people will come out most of the time. People will come out and it like you fucking know because their fucking song plays and then a jumbotron lights up with their face and then they and it's just hilarious to have your own theme music to walk out to every time. Like John Cena's
I love
hilarious.
the comedy guys like Santino Marella.
Oh yeah, those guys are funny.
The goofy people. I love the goofy people. Yeah, they crack me up.
Those guys are funny. They always get like the little arcs and whatnot, and so it's funny, dude. It's good. I mean I have to watch some. It's entertaining. I'll have to check it out again and see. But WWE in general was just a super fun.
Nowadays it's getting good again. Like it's actually been good the last like year, I think.
I will say
I'm interested in it again. I should say something. Like I'm a boring motherfucker.
I think everybody should give it more credit than you. Maybe it's not for you because I know I've gone through stages. I haven't watched it in years. For a lot of people. If
you think that if you're more about actual fighting, UFC, MMA, all that stuff's for you. WWE's gonna piss you off because you're like, oh, why the fuck is this dude sitting here going, oh,
doing his...
He could react.
Yeah.
I get it. It can seem stupid,
Yeah.
but
It's kind
it's
of, you know
fun.
what, I think I like it so
goofy.
much. It's like American anime.
yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
It
I
really
never thought
is,
about that
dude. I
before.
just thought of that right
It's
now.
American anime.
Because like anime, like people, a lot of people don't or get turned off and don't want to give anime a chance because like of the whole fucking, a lot of like, they think you like it because it's just because these two guys are gonna be flying around beating the shit out of each other. But dude, 90% of the episodes are internal dialogue, me going, I don't know how his strength, how is he so powerful, blah 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 blah. 8 episodes later, we finally get to see them throw the first
people
punch.
hate anime for
Yeah.
filler reasons mainly.
Yeah, but like, and even like the fact,
1,000 episodes.
yeah, and
What
like even fucking, they just like they just don't get like the over the top nature of it. And I think WWE is probably like the best version of that for that's like made by America. Like it's definitely it.
WWE is American anime. You should put that on a shirt. That's hilarious.
Dude, I'll probably put that as the highlight. That's funny.
That is really fucking funny.
I'm
gonna keep thinking about that after I leave.
Yeah, it just because it sums it up perfectly. It really is.
John Cena would be Superman essentially.
Kind of.
That's how they book certain people. Like Cena, like they always had a thing for him. He was big match John. He'd win the big important fights.
Mm-hmm. Big Ty says wrestling. We did a skit, dude. I used to do like more commentary videos. I might go back to doing some of them later down the line. And we did, Big Ty and I would like react to like really bad videos on the internet and stuff like that, and just kind of like make fun of them and whatnot. And this was like, I loved, and again, it was like I wanted to show, because I don't know if he had watched wrestling or what, but I was trying to explain to everybody, like, guys, like WWE was a shit, like it was fucking stupid but so funny to watch, and it's amazing. It's like this weird like nostalgic love I had for it. So I was looking up like the worst WWE matches so that we could like react to something. There was this fight between I can't remember who it was. These two dudes dressed up as women. They dressed up as women and fought each other, and that's already problematic. But they dressed up as women and fought each other, and like they down to the lingerie, like they're wearing lingerie underneath, and they both like the whole fight they're like ripping each other, and they're two like C card fucking dudes in the middle of like a regular SmackDown decided to do this.
You see when that happens, that's because Vince thinks it's funny.
Yeah, and so basically it was so bad. We roasted the fuck out of it, but then we did like a little skit afterwards that like made no sense.
Did you put on lingerie?
No, I put on a ridiculous wrestling uniform and.
She might get kicked out of that.
Well, we did like a whole fake scripted thing, like fight, and actually some of the fighting looked pretty funny and like pretty good with the cuts. And it was me and Big Ty, and so his name was Big Toe, and I forget what my wrestling name was. I think I was just like a Craig. It was like some random guy. I was Craig, and he was Craig versus Big Toe for the WWE Championship.
That's funny.
And in this fight that we watched with these two old dudes that were dressed up as women fighting each other. They're fighting for a belt. Like, it's like a shitty belt. I don't remember what belt it was.
Knockoff thing, probably.
Yeah, and, like, they're beating the fuck out of each other. They both suck. It's stupid that they're dressed up as girls for no reason. Some random dude at the end of the match comes in, punches both of them in the face, hits one of them with a board, and then pins one of them, and he wins the match. And I'm like, wait. WWE logic. He's not even in the fucking fight, but he gets to win the match.
You're thinking about the hardcore title from way back in the day.
I don't think it was the hardcore title though. It was
because I know nowadays they have the 24/7 championship, which is dog shit. Which is just like all you're gonna see is if you watch Raw.
Yeah,
it's R-Truth. It's his title, but like the fun little gimmick with it is 24/7. It's technically being defended. So like they have skits where like he'll be on an airplane. And all of a sudden, Jinder Mahal runs up, rolls him up on the fucking airplane for the
trying to beat him down. That's hilarious.
No, they don't even fight. It's just a roll up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Like it's literally just like R-Truth's like scampering around like who's gonna come.
Always looking over his shoulder type of thing.
And it's only for low card guys.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna see Brock Lesnar spit on the fucking title.
Yeah.
When he was WWE, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Idiot?
What is that? But that's the thing. It was for his low card, and this dude wins. So like in the skit that we had done, and the reason it's not out on YouTube is because WWE blocked it because we were fucking used some of their footage. And so it's stupid. It's so dumb that you can't make commentary on WWE.
YouTube.
But so we at the end of the skit, like he ends up he just beats the fuck out of me for the whole skit. It's just like, and I get a table, like I get thrown through a table, and like that was actually pretty fun, and it hurt to do, and it was a small table.
Dude.
And so I break through this table and whatever, and then someone else comes in with a gun and shoots him and kills him and then wins the match. And so it was like us making fun of WWE.
He got shot.
And yeah, so that was our little WWE skit. But I wanted to say this about WWE was that I think for your money, like a pay-per-view WWE might be better money spent than like for sure an investment over like buying an MMA or UFC or boxing fight. Because I've gone over to friends' houses and chipped in for like the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight. Which
you're paying all that money for one fight, aren't you? Just to watch.
No, you get undercards. There's like 2 cards. Oh, okay. It's usually like 2 undercards.
It's like 3 or 4 fights that last maybe 10 minutes.
UFC is like I think you get 5 or 6, and but like those fights again, I think it's like 3-minute round or 2-minute rounds, like 3-4 rounds. I mean, because again, people are really trying to kill each other. So
yes, they're literally trying to beat the fuck out of each other.
You think about the money you spend for the time of entertainment.
It's substantially better because they have a set time.
It's a movie that they wrote.
It's it's a pay for movie every Sunday.
Yeah, and so it's kind of funny to think of it that way. And so I wonder if that would change people's opinion on it. But I know it's fucking huge. Like it doesn't matter if I don't watch it, if you don't watch it, if people listening don't give a fuck, because they make a fuck ton of money.
They do. That's why they have like, instead of like back in the day when it was like they had maybe the 12 pay-per-views throughout the year. Now there's like 30 or some shit.
Why not?
Because all this sprinkled in stuff.
Milk it, dude. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And it's like obviously it got to the point now where everyone's obviously like, okay, well, a major title change like for the WWE or World Heavyweight, that's the Universal or whatever the fuck they call it nowadays.
Yeah.
That's obviously gonna stay on the guy.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna save that loss for a bigger pay. Like they have it called the Big Four: Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam.
Well, you know what's funny is that like there was only like maybe 3 or 4 times in my whole time watching it, and obviously we only bought one pay-per-view where like I actually got to see like a title defense like during like the regular shows.
Rare ones where they'd be like, all right, WWE
like,
Championship, and
randomly
especially
Vince will
if
come
it would
out.
end in a legitimate manner where it wasn't just some bullshit like, oh, someone got involved and that's a DQ.
Yeah,
that's the more commonality of it.
But it was hilarious. Like Vince will just come out and be like, you know what, fuck it, you're gonna defend the title right now.
Yep.
Against John Cena.
And you'd be like,
yeah. And
what is happening?
I was freaking out. Like, oh my god, something's actually gonna happen. I usually just watch people bitch at each other.
By the way, that was embarrassing.
Got clipped doing that. Well, man, we're well over the hour mark now. I know.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was actually.
I told you I'd be good for this. I'm terrible at talking.
Dude, WWE got me rolling. I just revisiting that in my head and then making the connection that it's American anime was.
I think we came off. We got into WWE talking about music. That's where that started.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah,
but
dude, I told you I tangent like a motherfucker.
It's perfect. You got to start podcasting, dude. That's what it's all about.
Or having me on the show more often. I'll make you money.
That's what we'll do. We'll do that then. I'm always down for that. So we covered a lot of bases here. Is there anything else that you want to really get off your chest and let the good people of Detox, the D-bags, do you want to let them know anything?
Well, I'm going to bring it up, even though I'm going to get shit on for it, just because we talked about it before in the other room.
Oh, okay. I know what you're going to say.
You know exactly what I'm going to say. PB&Js are better than peanut butter and butter.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were going to say that.
No, Drew Brees is the best quarterback of all time. Changed my mind.
See, I disagree.
I know everyone does with me.
Because we got Tom back again.
Tom Brady, he's going back to the Super Bowl. Yes.
If he wins, doesn't change it in your eyes? Even if he wins?
No, it won't.
Well, how many Super Bowls does Drew Brees have?
Drew Brees has the one. He's only got one. He's 1-1. He's 1 for 1 in the Super Bowl. Brady has gone there 8, 9, 10 times now or some shit.
I think he's been there 10 times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some ridiculous number because
he's won 7 or he's won 6.
He's a phenomenal quarterback.
Or 7.
I'm never gonna say like people like Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick. I'm never gonna say Patrick Mahomes is like anybody. They're all great quarterbacks. Obviously, they're in the NFL.
Yeah.
You have to be talented enough to make it to the NFL. But if you're looking at Drew Brees, the biggest reason that he's a turnoff when it comes to the GOAT conversation is because he only has that one ring.
Yeah.
When you think about it, Brady has been playing for longer than Drew Brees has. Okay. Brady has played in substantially more games because he has those playoff games over Brees. Because a lot of the time when Brees was on the Saints, they would go 6-10 and they would make the playoffs. Brady was in the playoffs every single year.
Do you think that Brees is accountable at all for that?
I do not. Some parts, I will say yes. Obviously, you can't be perfect.
But
a lot of the time,
what do you think he is substantially better at than any other quarterback ever? Because I mean, the fact that we've got even
like
a couple
Joe
people,
Montana and all those other greats of all times. I'm gonna look. For example, I'm gonna go to the record books. Look at all the records Brees has. If you want to talk about Brady being the GOAT, on almost every record, Brees is above Brady. Brady has played in how many more? He's played in how many more games than Brees has?
What, like Brees has more passing yards?
He's substantially ahead of Brady in the passing yards. If he didn't get hurt, he'd be ahead in the touchdowns
too. Is he number 1?
Yes.
Ever?
Of all time, yeah. He broke that a couple years ago. Yeah, forever ago. He's had that record forever, yeah. You should look up. He has, I think he eclipsed 80,000 already or some shit plus. like forever ago. Yeah, he's cracked out of his jorts, dude.
Why can't they win? Why can't they get some more Super Bowls like Tom Brady?
Because
I see. My thing is winning is the most important thing to me.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people base it off of. But if you're gonna look at it from,
but it is a team sport, so I give you a little leeway with that.
Brady, there's a video I watched on YouTube that really made me feel better. Was throughout all the Super Bowl championships, Brady had always had a top 5 or better defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They always had a good offense too. Yes. Look at Breeze on the New Orleans Saints. When did he ever have a top 10 defense up until these last couple years? He never did. Until Michael Thomas, Breeze never had a Pro Bowl wide receiver or tight end ever. Marcus
What about
Colston,
Jimmy Graham? Didn't they have Jimmy Graham for a while?
he never made Pro Bowl with Breeze. Fun fact.
Interesting. I mean, he's a great player though.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah.
Marcus Colston was never a Pro Bowl wide receiver. He barely ever hit 1,000. They barely ever hit 1,000 yards.
How many did Brady have other than Gronk? I mean, he had Gronk.
He had Gronk. He had Edelman. He had Amendola. I don't know the Patriots.
I mean, Brady's
roster
taking a bunch of guys that are built like me and turning them into great wide receivers.
Yes.
I mean, I'm giving
and
myself
that's
a little
also
credit.
a part of the
decent.
coaching staff too.
Yeah, but
that helps with being trained if you got good ethic and if you really want to learn.
But Brady's now on Tampa Bay doing the same shit.
He is. But he has familiar faces around him. You have to remember.
For sure. But I think that's pretty insane.
It is. And that's why I'm never going to deny Brady is fucking amazing. I may not like him personally, but he is. Look at the guy. He's insane.
So you still think Breeze?
I will forever in my heart think Breeze is the greatest of all time because the first example everyone always uses as example as if this is important. He's short. Okay.
I don't know what that. Yeah, I don't know how that would have to do with anything about.
Because everyone else is like 6'3" plus, and Breeze is barely 6 foot on a good day.
Yeah, see, that's stupid because it's about performance. Like, Russell Wilson's short, and he's won. Wasn't he won 2 Super Bowls already? Yeah. So who gives a fuck?
Why does that matter, right?
Yeah, if you're good, you're good.
But if you look at it, I think Brady has played in at least 200 more games than Breeze has. But Breeze has how many more passing yards, and those receiving yards have to come from those lower garbage receivers that Breeze had to play with that weren't even garbage, or they just weren't known because they're on a team that no one cared about, a team that never had good defense, so they were never being a winning franchise.
Yeah.
Aside from 2010 when they went and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Damn. So that's the only. I thought they lost 1 Super Bowl too.
Nope. They've only been to the Super Bowl once, and they beat Peyton Manning's Colts.
That's okay. They did win that one. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Because Tracy Porter.
I was gonna say so the Bears beat them in the NFC Championship when the Bears ended up losing the Super Bowl.
Yes, to the Colts. Yep.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Otherwise, these last few years that everyone picked the Saints to be the favorites, shit went wrong in the playoffs. Like there was the Minneapolis Miracle because Marcus Williams couldn't make a tackle that broke my heart. And then there was the bullshit with the Rams and the no pass interference call. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about on that one, yeah?
Who was that against?
Against the Rams.
It was against the Rams,
yeah.
The no pass interference?
When the Saints were driving.
Was that an NFC Championship?
Mm-hmm.
Was that, how many years ago was that? A couple years? Was
years ago,
was that the year of the double doink? When the Bears
I think that was the year of the double doink, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, dude, the Bears were actually good that year out of nowhere, and I really...
Yeah, the Bears should have beat the Rams.
I think that we would have been good against the Saints, too. Yeah. I think we would have been fine, and we would have been in the Super Bowl, dude.
It would have been a good game.
We fucking sucked.
Yep. But then there was the Nickel Roby-Coleman, very blatant pass interference. Like, he wrecked the receiver, wasn't playing the ball. He hit him in the head and everything. And the ref's sitting right there.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I couldn't imagine refereeing a professional sporting event, especially a playoff game.
Yeah.
NFL. Like, the NBA,
maybe.
Don't get me wrong. It definitely, a similar amount of pressure, but the way the NBA is, and it's obviously, I'm a basketball fan. I played college basketball. Love basketball.
Hockey be easy because it's like, hey, you want to get in a fight? Go get in a fucking fight.
Yeah, you're probably right. But so with basketball, it's split up. You got to win 4 games. If I make one bad call in game 1, no one can.
Yeah, that's why.
The NFL, bro, you make one bad call.
Yup.
That shit's over with. And it's a stupidly hard game to make these judgment calls especially for pass interference, dude. With they could be playing the ball. Was he playing the ball? Was he not? Was the pass even reachable? Was it not reachable? Dude,
all the rules they had are just dumb.
So many shit. So much.
There's a lot of shit things.
It's crazy. And you know what's crazy too? It's I do think it sucks that they took away the kickoffs basically by shortening them and
so it wasn't as often. It was more you're more often if you can get a touchback, you're a good kicker or some garbage.
Which is so dumb to me because the whole reasoning. Is that because kickoffs are so out of control? I get it. It's you're sending a bunch of 280 guys full sprinting at each other 60 yards to smash into each other. That doesn't sound good for their health. But
that's the entertaining.
That's not That's not why they're that's not why they're having brain damage. It's because they're playing this fucking game that requires them to get in the head, like whatever.
It's like you're gonna take a hit,
like,
buddy.
They're gonna get hit regardless. So I don't know if like that's where I would draw the line.
Think about how much excitement you get when your team's returning a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown. That's awesome.
Dude, I'm a Bears fan. It's like all we had for 3 years.
Yeah, Cordero Patterson really carried your fucking workload. I remember. I was at the Saints Bears game a couple years ago.
I was talking Devin Hester.
Oh yeah, that too.
Best of all time.
I didn't think you were going that far back. Yeah. He is the best of all time.
Yeah. That
especially for that part, yeah, for sure.
Literally won us games. So
yeah,
him in the defense.
Even in the Super Bowl, he got one, didn't he?
I cried.
Or two or something.
I was in second grade and I cried. I was like, wow, I'm gonna get to see my dad would always talk about the fucking Bears winning in '80, and that's all any Bears fan talks about. You know, we all do that. Dude, we won in '85, and that's all we're all guilty of it. And we won in '85, great team, but we haven't done shit since then. And I thought, how lucky am I? I just got into football. Like I had been playing for a year.
Doing good again.
And I was collecting all the cards. I had everybody on the team. I'm in second grade. I remember my fucking second grade teacher, dude. What are the fucking odds of this in Wisconsin, in southeastern Wisconsin, is a Colts fan?
Really?
And that's the year. So the 1 year I'm in
this
and she was super cool. We were actually really cool even after this, as I became like a young adult. So we talked from time to time. She's really cool. But like, what are the fucking odds that this lady that is supposed to really only be in my life for one singular year, happens to be the year that the fucking Bad News Bears decide that they're gonna make the Super Bowl, and her favorite team is the fucking Colts, and they also make the fucking Super. I was so mad, dude. I was so mad, and then I was so scared because like, I just know the Bears, and even then, being a hopeful romantic about the Bears' possibilities, seeing them and be good for a year, I still was so scared. I'm like, dude, they're gonna lose. I'm gonna have to go back to school. And it was bad when they'd always lose to the Packers, and you have to go to school and just be upset because we live in Wisconsin. And everyone's gonna shit on you. It's whatever.
Yep.
But
I'm a Saints fan in Wisconsin, so
that's gonna be tough as well. And so I remember her and my dad had bet that if the Colts won, like whoever won, the opposite person would have to wear like a Bears.
Yep,
or a
that
Colts
was always
hat
the thing in grade
for
school.
a week. And so like, and then I just remember being so sad that the Bears lost, and my dad's having to wear a Colts hat. And because I cried tears of joy when Devin Hester ran the fuck. That like never happened, dude. And so I was like freaking out. And the Super Bowl, I'm like probably like the highest on life that I would have been, other than like maybe performing live. Like it's
a magical moment.
And I had no control over it. So since then, I've kind of unplugged from sport. Not since then, but in the last since the double doink, I should say, I've kind of unplugged.
Been your priority.
Yeah,
I've not prioritizing. If they're doing good, I'll check up on the stats. You know.
Yeah, I'll see what I want to know. Look
at the highlights of the game that we won.
Yeah, I want to know what I'm talking about, but I'm not like that deep into it.
Yeah, no, I'm huge into football, so I know it's a lot.
That makes sense.
back to Breeze, because tangents are a thing.
Yeah.
If you go and look at the record book, he is the only quarterback to have multiple seasons of 5,000 yards plus passing, and he's done it 5 times, I'm pretty sure. No other quarterback's done it twice.
Wow.
There's one, yeah. Breeze has never won an NFL MVP award. Fun fact.
I would put that as a detriment to him.
It is, but there were many years where he totally should have won it, when he had those 5,000 plus yard seasons with 40 plus touchdowns and 10 less picks.
Who won those in those years?
I couldn't tell you.
Probably.
I couldn't have to go back, but people that didn't deserve it. They weren't quarterbacks. I know one of them was some linebacker.
He's never won one?
Nope. Isn't that fucked up? Breeze.
That's crazy,
Has never won an NFL MVP award.
MVPs are weird, man. Even in all sports, like with the NBA, like if we're being
I don't like how they do the All-Star stuff.
If we're being legit in like the NBA, like other than like a couple of years, like it's really about like who's the most popular for that year.
It is. It's because a lot of it's fan voting. That's how they used to do it back in the NFL back in the day before they made it the
way it is now with like a committee and whatnot. So that's what like with the NBA, and like don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take it away from people. Like Harden had an insane year the other year. Giannis has crazy years. Curry, I think, deserved at least one of his. But like we gotta be real, bro. Like when Kobe was doing his shit, Kobe probably should have won the MVP every year. When LeBron has been doing his shit, I think LeBron should probably win the MVP every year.
They're cracked.
They're fucking insane.
They're insane.
I think Steph Curry deserved a couple though. I think KD deserved it. You know, the one he got. I do think like there are arguments for these people, but I just think if we're being legit, you know, LeBron deserves it every fucking year.
He definitely deserves to be up in the top 3 every single year.
Sometimes he's not even in the top 3. I don't know how that happens.
I think it was, last year or 2 years ago? Whenever Giannis won it, I don't think he was even in the conversation.
I don't think he was either.
No, he wasn't even in the talks.
Unless you're talking to Shannon Sharp, then Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, well, Shannon Sharp will just.
He loves some LeBron.
Oh yeah.
Edith says, "How are you a Saints fan, Ian?"
So, I grew up as a Bear fan because a lot of my family because our families were very connected for the longest time. We're all Bear fans.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Ralph, Michael, everybody, they loved Bears.
Yeah.
So I grew up, okay, this is a sport I don't really watch.
Yeah.
But they like all this blue and orange team. I like them. Sure.
Yeah.
It's funny. You're low key the reason I'm a Saints fan.
Why is that?
There's a little fun spot for you. I remember the first football game I ever played was Madden 10 or Madden 11. Sorry, excuse me, the best Madden of all time. And that was the game where the Saints were the best team because they had won the Super Bowl in 2010.
Yeah.
And I remember we played, and you kicked my ass.
I was really good at Madden.
You kicked my shit in brutal. I think it was like 72-6.
You know, and that's shitty.
I had never played a football game before. And I got points on you, so you're dog shit.
That's bogus of me to do, because you know why I probably did that? Because I would play against fucking my dad and
or
Uncle
Timmy
Ralph,
or some shit.
And, I would kill Tim too. He wasn't very good at Madden specifically, but like he would kill me.
You
in,
were
like,
always
shooters
competitive
and,
when you're younger.
Yeah, well, he would kill me in shooter
you
games.
Sweated
and,
your ass off at anything, and I respect it because that's how I am now. I like to try hard everything.
Yeah, I was definitely a big tryhard, but so I would get my ass kicked by them, and I remember when I finally started getting good to beat that. But I was a pussy too. I would cry when I would lose.
I fucking hated losing. Like with Mario Super Sluggers for the Wii, dude. Whenever my dad, he didn't play games, but he'd beat me at that game somehow, and that's the game I played hours. I'd be like, how the fuck are you beating me? This is bullshit. And I get so pissed off.
But I would literally sit there, the same thing. I would put hours into Madden, and then my dad would still come home and beat the shit out of me. Yeah. And I'm like, how the fuck? He doesn't even play. But he's
I
still
know. It's like
me.
It's insulting. It's like, you dick.
It's the same thing with Uncle Ralph. They both beat me, and I remember when I finally caught Uncle Ralph in like. And this was a couple years after. That's what I'm saying. It's bullshit.
It was like a tier list.
Bullshit that I was
Ralph
beating your ass like that because I shouldn't have been. Because if you just started playing, and that's like how I felt when they would beat me, was like, oh, they're beating up on me, and that's bullshit that I did that.
It's
so
hilarious.
but so like I remember when I finally caught him, and I was like, okay. And then it took me like couple months, and then all of a sudden I was, beating my dad, and then now
I remember when I beat Ralph for the first time. It's funny, like mob bosses, like Ralph was this one. But like when it came to video games, it was like Ralph, my dad, and Michael, because they're like the three guys back in the day. I remember I don't know what the fuck game it was, but I beat Ralph because he was playing as the Bears, and I think I was playing as the Texans or some shit.
Bears suck in Madden too.
They really do. I was just playing
because I always would.
I knew who JJ, because my back in the day, like that's how, like in basketball. Fun fact: I'm a Clippers fan.
Okay.
And that makes no
sucks.
sense.
That sucks.
It does. Well, hey, nowadays we might actually be doing something, but back in the day, I liked them because there's tangenting. I wanted to get into basketball because all my friends liked it, but everyone's like Bulls, and I had just become a Saints fan because the first game I played was against you, and you shit on me, and I got that game.
Yeah.
And all I practiced, I would play as the Saints.
Yeah.
So I kind of just got connected to them through the video game. And then I was like, oh, this Drew Brees guy is, like, everyone likes this guy. He must be a good person. Yeah. Do some study. I did a research study on him in 6th grade. And I'm like, wow, he's an amazing person. This dude's awesome.
He kind of went under for some fire recently for some statements he made. So.
Yeah, but everyone's going to fucking do something like that.
Yeah, it was
and
bad.
Just from that point on, I was like, okay, this is the team I like to play as. I got used to how their players played, like their playbooks and shit like that, so I based it off the game.
Yeah.
I didn't play competitively online ever. Because I didn't have internet for the longest time.
And it was weird with PlayStation 2, especially like even early PS3 was like I didn't do a lot of online either.
I couldn't because I didn't have internet for the longest time.
Yeah, I didn't either with PS3. It wasn't until PS4 that I started playing.
Thankfully nowadays we have my grandma. We use her Wi-Fi next door.
There you go. It reaches.
Yeah, she got extensions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that works.
Very convenient. It was dog shit for the longest time.
Yeah.
Especially because I played on Xbox 360 and their servers were never very good.
Really? I didn't know that. See, I'm a PlayStation.
Yeah, you're a PlayStation. Yeah, I know. I had PlayStation 3 and Xbox.
Did you see the KFC Council? KFC entered the console wars, bro. They ended it.
That's right.
They've won the console wars.
Yeah,
KFC.
What the fuck?
What
do they call it?
It's like it's called like the KF Council or something, like because the C is for council, and it's like it's hilarious, dude. It's literally like computer, like just basically a computer, a nice gaming computer that fucking has a warmer for your chicken. That's like basically operates the same as like an easy bake oven, and it's hilarious.
I remember the only third-party system I remember is the Google one.
The Stadia.
Yeah, Stadia. That's what it is. I was
Stadia?
like, I remember looking at what the fuck? It's like a knockoff Switch.
Yeah, I kind of want an Oculus Rift just to play fucking.
Honestly,
once VR gets a little bit better, dude. It already looks fun, but I just want it to like be a little bit better.
There was one game that I played at my friend's house, and it was the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted VR, because I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I love that game series. It's fun.
I've never played any of them.
It's interesting. Well, it's scary. That's why you don't like it, because you're not.
I played the Resident Evil 6. I don't know which.
Resident Evil's fun. I love Resident Evil.
I watched my friend play like half of it, and I played a little bit of it. It's super fun.
It's more FNAF's more just jump scares, kind of horror. So if you're really uneasy and you don't like loud noises, you're not gonna like those kind of games, because like especially with the fourth game, it's
for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. Sorry. You have to very listen. Basically, the function is you're a little kid in your bedroom, right? You got 2 doors on your sides, the bed behind you, and a closet.
Yeah.
This is a bad example because no one likes the fourth game. I love it. Basically, you got Chica. She would come in from the right hallway, Bonnie on the left, Foxy would sometimes appear in the closet, and then Freddy is behind you. You have to listen for like little chattering noises, turn around, and put your flashlight on the bed. And there's these 3 like creature thing looking teddy bears that are like sitting there screaming at you.
Yeah.
You have to make them fuck off by putting the light on them.
Oh, okay.
For the other 2 at the doors, you have to walk up to the door and open it and listen for seconds. Wait for it to go. If you hear breathing, you close the door. If you don't hear breathing, you flash your light. And if you fuck that up, you get jump scared, and it's the loudest thing you're ever going to hear in your entire life, and you'll shit your pants.
Wow, yeah. That sounds
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. Sounds like very punishing if you're not on your shit.
Yeah, that's why I like those games. If you're not like on it, you're gonna fuck up and you're gonna get jump scared. It's gonna piss you off.
See, I like horror when there's a really interesting story. Like, what was that game that it was for like the Silent Hill games that they were gonna do? PT, dude. I loved that when that came out. My friends and I all played that shit. Like I beat that game like 3 times just because I loved it. Like, and it was supposed to be the trailer to the Silent Hill game, and that they never fucking did. But dude, like I liked Slender too. I liked that growing up. Liked even watched. I didn't like playing Outlast, but I would watch my friend play Outlast.
Oh my god, I fucking love Outlast. Outlast 2 sucked, but
PewDiePie
Outlast 1 was
too,
amazing.
bro. PewDiePie was big. I loved when PewDiePie
PewDiePie,
would play.
Markiplier.
Dude, there was the one, I forget the name of it, with the statues that would fucking follow you, and like as long as you looked at it, it couldn't move. It was a statue. And PewDiePie, someone looked this statue game up and fucking watched these videos of PewDiePie playing it.
It sounds
hilarious.
like a Mario staring at a boo.
But so it's kind of a similar thing, but the whole game is like you're trapped in this mansion. You have to figure out like what the hell's going on and like how to get out and blah 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 blah. And there's this fucking like mannequin that fucking is just like stuck in the statue position, and you like figure out like right away, like whenever you don't look at it, it's like
it's one of those where it's like off the light, on lights, it's coming closer. It's one of those.
It's very very entertaining. I've heard The Forest is really good too, and I think
I've
they're making a second one.
heard great things about The Forest. I've never played it before.
I never played it either.
I've watched people play it.
Yeah, I wanted to get Alien Isolation. That game looked fun.
I've also heard SCP Containment Breach.
What is that?
SCP. I don't know anything about the game.
Okay.
I just know that it's a game that like it's supposedly really scary, but it's a lot of fun.
That's what Alien Isolation looked just like. The gameplay mechanics, that like the AI was so good at the time when it came out, that like the alien would like learn if you kept using the same shit to like trick it. Like it would learn, like, I'm not fucking with that.
Yeah, and I love that about games where it's like if you can think you can outthink the CPU. Yeah, and then
it fucks you up, dude. And the whole thing with that game is like you're in a ship the whole time trying to get away from this, and it can go in the vents, and it's like apparently doesn't show up until like a couple levels in, and then after that you've just got a radar.
It's a consistent threat.
You don't get a weapon until the end of the game to kill it, which I just thought was super cool. I never played it. Watch people play that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so weird. I wonder if a lot of people do that. I feel like a lot of people do that. Just watch people play the game and don't buy it.
More often than not, you're not gonna. If like it's a game that you're interested in, and you don't already have a system for it. Like a lot of the games, like the fun horror games, more often than not, they're gonna be for PC. I haven't got a PC.
Yeah.
Like a gaming computer. I haven't got one of those.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, who am I watching to play this game? Because I'm actually interested in this, but I can't get it. That's how my thought process is for that kind of stuff.
I was thinking about maybe torturing myself and getting some use out of this PC and playing some horror games and streaming it. But I'll fucking cry, dude, on stream, which might be good content, but I'll probably cry on
playing PC for the first time. See, I fell off of sports games after like 2017 because I remember I loved 2K17. Unpopular opinion, people thought that game was bad for some reason. I liked it a lot.
I had 17. I think that was like the last one I bought, or maybe 18.
18 I got, and I hated 18. I didn't like how it felt when I played it.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I got Madden 21, but the last Madden that I ever played was Madden 17.
I think I had 16 or 17. Yeah, I will say this fucking sport games
don't
and
do
like
the
Call of
actual
Duty
justice.
Like, well, dude, I just hate that they both fucking. It's just the development cycle is so rushed.
Yeah,
dude. It's so stupid, dude.
That's why Black Ops 4 was dog shit.
I would dead ass rather
fucking
have
Fortnite.
I would rather have them fucking release like, even if it was like a couple bucks. Like I know they wouldn't do it because they would lose out on millions of dollars. But it would be so much better for everybody, bro. If it was like you buy this game every 5 years, or not even 5, maybe 2 or 3.
That's how
You buy
GTA did
Madden.
it.
Was that?
They did it every so often. GTA.
Oh yeah, GTA.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying to get the next one, and you just
Yeah.
release like cheaper, smaller like uptate packages.
Yeah, if
until you're ready
that's
to make
why
the huge
GTA
leap.
5 is so popular still. Even though it came out like in what 2000.
Dude, that came out on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, it came out. Wasn't it 2013 that game came out? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
And somehow it's still one of the top games in the world.
I think it's the highest selling video game of all time.
Yeah,
like
it is.
or it made the most money, and even if
Yes.
you count the money it still makes now, it's beyond like
That's
no one
because
will
they
ever touch
keep
it.
putting progressive little new things to keep the game interesting and exciting.
It sucks playing online though now.
I'm sure. I never had GTA Online,
Oh,
thankfully.
It
I heard it was
dick, bro.
terrible.
It was so fun. No, it was the funnest thing
like
in the
fun,
world.
but like
Until they started adding shit, because now they got rocket cars, and you go on and you just want to fucking hang with the boys and go fucking kill a bunch of people at the strip club and
Yep.
fucking kill cops until there's no more cops. Just really terrible shit
Yeah,
that
do
I should
horrible
be saying.
people things,
You
you
do
know.
terrible things, but it's fun. You get it out of your system that way. You don't do it in
Yeah.
real life, right?
yeah, don't be a sociopath.
Exactly. That's not psychotic tendencies I'm describing, but
It's fun to shoot things in virtual
It's
experiences.
exactly. So the boys, you get on GTA after school. We used to do it all the time. It was so fun. We drive to the fucking military base. We go fuck
See
up.
if you can steal a jet
steal
or
a
some
jet.
shit. Yep.
Play Titan. Play the big missions. All that shit. It was hella fun. We had a crew. We would fuck people up online.
Mm-hmm.
When people like had like regular world weapons, it was awesome. Now
Oh, this futuristic
they've
garbage.
got like rocket little jetpack bikes that fucking a kid. You'll get on the game. I just wanted to check, see like, oh shit, maybe I'll like whatever. My friend Pat, I let him use my account for a while because like he was supposed to stream a while back, and then it ended up not working out where we weren't streaming, but like he was using my account, got me
Yeah.
a nightclub, like got my guy a bunch of money and shit. And,
Nice.
And so I was like, oh, check it
You
out.
profited off of it.
Yeah, so I wanted to play. So I got a couple of my friends to get on. Dude, you get on the game and these sweaty kids will just follow you the whole time. I'm like
These
just trying
fucking
to
ramp
cruise.
trucks that you can use as like
Just send
boosts.
people
It's
that.
like,
See, that's funny, but the fucking other shit, dude, where they can literally
unless
find
you're getting
you.
griefed by it. That's when it's not fun.
That's when it's not fun. Getting griefed in that game. Then you got to go in ghost mode and feel like a bitch.
Or
And
if they just keep killing you, and you're
Yeah.
just losing shit at that point for no reason.
it gets sad.
It's annoying.
You get really sad.
That's why Call of Duty is. I personally love Call of Duty games. Like I'll always
You
play
buy them every year.
for the most part. Yeah.
See, that's why I'm thankful I'm not into Call of Duty or sports games anymore.
It sucks.
That's
It's
like,
a painful experience.
Dude,
Especially if you know you're good at like I know I'm really good at Call of Duty, but motherfucker does that game piss me off.
are you really good? Because you should
I'm
compete.
fairly good at the fucking game, yes.
I had a friend, Kevin, who's been on the podcast a couple times, been in videos and whatnot. He used to compete when we were in high school. He made a couple $1,000 playing Call of Duty in like tournaments and shit. And so like, there's a lot of money. Call of Duty has such a huge fan base. And my acting teacher in college, he does the mocap for
Really?
all the animation because he's like my height, which is like the perfect height for like that kind of shit, I guess.
Yeah.
And so like that's why they
Fuck us short people.
and he did stage combat.
Mm-hmm.
So like somebody had seen him in a play or something that he was doing, and he had stage combat experience, and they liked the way he moved. They said, and they were like, they asked him, and it was fucking somebody from Activision, and they fucking ended up.
That's so cool.
And so he's
It's
literally
actually so cool.
he literally, if you go to his IMDb page, he's credited in all of the fucking in his credits play at the end of the game or whatever. Every single one of like the last like 5 or 6 years,
That's
he's been
awesome.
he's your guy moving. That's him. You fucking shoot someone and they fall over. The way they fall over, that's him falling over in a mocap suit. Like,
That's
fucking
actually that's super dope. Actually,
that is fucking dope.
that's
dude.
super cool.
So yeah, he was super cool. I got to get him to let me get in there and fall around. That would be so fun to get in a
Get hit.
mocap suit.
Fuck, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that would be sick. But okay, we're getting close to 2 hours. We'll wrap this up
Really?
now. Yeah,
Oh my
we're
God.
flying, man. I enjoy the conversation. It's good catching up with you, and it's
Told
good.
you I'd fucking break the hour mark.
Yeah,
You didn't believe in me.
easy. I believed in you 100%. 100%.
You're bullshitting the fans, dude.
So what do you want to leave the people with today?
I have no idea.
What any last words of advice, wise words of
Well,
Ian?
Okay, if I'm gonna be wise, I really think people should get into music because it's a very interesting thing to learn, especially if you don't have any. Like, especially nowadays with the whole COVID garbage
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to help take your mind off stress.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And another thing, I'm gonna be a little inspirational here for you. Going
Oh,
back to the
this is
very
what we need.
first thing we talked about on this, apparently 2 hours. Jesus Christ. Don't let you know what kind of person you are. You may not think you do, but you know what your values are, and you know the things that are important to you. If you're with somebody or you know somebody that's trying to belittle you and make the things that you think are important not important, don't let that surround you. Don't let those things get to you.
Yeah.
If you want to be your own person, be your own person. Don't shape yourself into something that you don't want to be.
I like that. I like that. Surround yourself with an environment that's going to help you prosper, not one that's going to make you feel less.
Exactly.
Right. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, I want to thank you, Ian, for being on the show.
Of course.
I appreciate it. We're going to have you back.
Of course.
Obviously, if we can do this. I know we talked prior to a couple months ago. I am going to be starting streaming again pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be seeing me on there.
We'll be getting the Discord set up or something, some way where we can get your mic in there and hear you as well. That'll be a lot of fun. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in live in the live chat. If you're listening on Spotify the day after, thank you for hanging out over there. Really appreciate you guys. Also want to say quick shout out to our patrons. They should be on the screen right now. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. There's a new video going up exclusive to Patreon on Wednesday. We do some behind the scenes stuff over there, as well as like behind the songs, how we make songs and what we write them about. So shoot a huge shout out to those people for helping support the channel. It really helps us out and makes what we're doing here even more fun. So if you're interested in becoming a patron, go to patreon.com/DarrenRita. Other than that, I want to say thank you to Kenosha Auto Insurance for sponsoring this episode. And I will see you guys next week